They fly all over the place last night. Sam Wendell is back on offense with Taylor Richard, and we are underway. Actually, Sam Wendell and Cliff Watson. This puck comes back down to our left-hand side, and there is an early whistle here in the first period. 8 seconds in as the Grizzlies win the face-off and ice the puck. So Fort Wayne can have an offensive zone draw coming up. In last night's contest, we were pretty much at a stalemate. We were tied for 33 minutes and 35 seconds in the first 40 minutes of the contest that was ultimately won 4-2 by Fort Wayne as the Komets broke that 2-2 third period tie 8 seconds into their first power play and added a late empty netter. Puck up and out of play. One more time, we'll take the draw back to the Utah zone. Grizzlies actually outshot Fort Wayne 35-31. They drew 4 of the 6 power plays. Utah led 2-1 for 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Fort Wayne led for 3 minutes and 50 seconds in the first period, taking a 1-0 lead. But unfortunately, you get more power plays, you get more shots, but they scored more on the power play, and that was the difference in the game. Grizzlies off of the face-off. Olsen, Mishiak, now the Komets give it away. Here's a shot by Mishiak. It's gloved down by Hauser, again fighting the puck. You know, just didn't get enough second chances in front of the net on him last night as the Grizzlies get the first shot here just over 30 seconds into the opening frame. Bounding puck at the blue line. Szydlowski will pick it up, and now Tyanulin for Fort Wayne. It's knocked down in the circle by Sam Wendell. Now here's a blast by Ryan Culkin, who got the GWG last night, just kind of knuckles in onto Kevin Carr. I guess if he's going to stop all the grade A chances, throw some junk at him and see if you can get something to go, to use a baseball model. Draw coming up to the left-hand side, 47 seconds into the first period. Adam Turner, our Grizzlies insider from the Salt Lake Tribune, along for the ride, laughing at all my jokes as usual, which is greatly appreciated, old Adam. I'll give you a piece of pizza after the game, old boy. They have another whistle here. Draw coming up to the left-hand side of Kevin Carr, and we're 48 seconds into this thing already. Oh, time flies. I want to say hello to my parents. They're somewhere in the parking lot trying to find a place to park. They're not in their seats yet. Trying to figure out that HD2 thing. We are off to a roaring start. Another offensive zone draw for Fort Wayne is something being adjusted with the time clock as the draw to the left-hand side of Kevin Carr. Chris Leibinger, puck knocked away. Ryan Walters is back with the Grizzlies. 7 assists in 4 games last week. 4 assists on the power play after he rejoined the Grizzlies, being acquired from the Rapid City Rush for Peter Seaback. Ryan started the year in Belarus, joined the Grizzlies for that road trip as he intercepts the puck along the line here in the corner. Takes it back down low. Charlie Graskamp. Oh, just missed Nathan. Comes back out for Sam Wendell. Got his first goal last week. Garrett Harr in his first shift of the season. Here's Nathan back behind the net. The Komets, though, give it up. Charlie Graskamp there. Charlie sends it back down low. Here's Nathan now along the near side. Hard to the net as Walters tries to redirect it. Comes back out. The Komets try to push it ahead to Ralph Kademi, but Garrett Harr gets a stick on it, and the puck rolls in. On to Kevin Carr. He's there to glove it and hold on again with 18:20 left to go in the first period. So Garrett Harr making his Grizzlies season debut tonight. Again, Garrett got hurt not only in training camp, but on day 1 of training camp. And to make the story even sadder, we'll say he got hurt in the first 5 minutes. Blocked a puck with his hand, and it just really got things off to a tough start injury-wise for Utah after it was that literal last-second deal. The conference call to get Garrett Harr to the Grizzlies last season at the trade deadline took place after the deadline, but we got the verbal in time, but getting Jason Christie to do paperwork is never a fast process. So ultimately the Grizzlies did get Garrett Harr. Had 2 assists in 5 playoff games last year for the Grizzlies. 5 points in 10 games going down the stretch, including that big game-winning goal in overtime against Missouri here in a game he scored 2 goals against back on April 5th. As puck comes into the corner. The infamous SIA Missouri game, as that eliminated them from playoff contention and gave the Grizzlies needing just Couple more points to clinch. Komets up near side. Maggio, right wing circle shot fought off and held on to by Kevin Carr. And Kevin will hold on. 2:19 into the first period. Adrian Denny upstairs here on Radio Row. Tyson Whiting has made his way down to the Grizzlies bench. Hey, you Tyson.
Hey, Adrian. Garrett Hart playing his first shift with the Grizzlies. I mentioned it. I talked with Tim Branham earlier today. He mentioned Garrett Hart being a really good two-way defenseman. They're going to need him because Mitch Jones is out of the lineup. Rob Mann's out of the lineup as well. So they're going with 5 defensemen. Garrett Hart, who has been working out the last couple weeks, is in pretty good shape. Making his first start with the Grizzlies this season. Ryan Walters making his first start at home this season as well.
Off the face-off, it's steered away by Kevin Carr as the Komets again get another puck off the draw. Here's Shea throwing it to the net. Grizzlies will fly in front. It's ultimately blocked by Wendell, and Misiak hustles back the other way. A 4-on-3 drops for Ryan Olsen. Ryan, 1 goal, 1 assist out in front. Grizzlies jamming as it's loose. Harms a backhander. Misiak out in front in the corner. Ryan will run it down. So that line got everything for Utah last night. Here's Harms threading it to Olsen, skating through the circle. Now a turnover forced by Harms. Misiak back down low. Olsen short side shot. Oh, and it just skips over Leibinger's stick as the Komets try to come back the other way. Tyanulin, Szydlowski, the drop pass is fired in as it rung off of the post. Fired in by Ryan Colkin. Ryan Walters flies back the other way as Ryan Olsen gets a piece of it for the Grizzlies. And now back out to play at Tyanulin for Fort Wayne. 3 minutes, 12 seconds into this first period, and we have no score here from the Mavericks Center. Utah looking to improve on a stretch. 5-2-2-0 in their last 9. Here's Kademi in the slot, and it's steered aside by Kevin Carr. Good rebound control by Kevin, getting that puck to the wall as Fort Wayne came back with numbers. Poked away by Charlie Grasscamp, and it'll come back down to our left. So Charlie, in his second game back lineup for the Grizzlies, he was on the trip last week, just didn't get into the lineups. The Grizzlies had 21 bodies on that trip as Malindi joined Utah on the trip. Leibinger joined the Grizzlies on the trip. Puck comes to the near side. Leibinger will pick it up from Higbee. Grizzlies going 11 forwards, 5D tonight, as Tyson said. Higbee and Howe, your 10th and 11th. Puck comes on the near side. Komets trying to push it back down to our right. Dennis Kravchenko. Didn't see him last night, but a skilled player here in the ECHL. Jason Binkley goes cross ice, off the glass. Cliff Watson pushes it up ahead, doesn't connect with Brad Navin, and the Grizzlies get whistled for icing. 4 minutes and 15 seconds into the first period. And Fort Wayne going to get an offensive zone draw coming up. So last night, first time the Grizzlies had lost in regulation in the last 5 games as Fort Wayne broke that 2-2 third period tie. Grizzlies after tonight will be off until they host Colorado on Friday and Saturday. Draw coming up to the left-hand side of Kevin Carr. As Kevin starting for the 5th time in the last 6 games for Utah. Had his personal 5-game unbeaten streak snapped last night. Just a little thing here or there making the difference. Really the power play with Kyle Thomas called up after morning skate, and Ryan Walters not quite back in the lineup. Here's a shot blocked by Sam Wendell. Centering pass comes off a Misiak's stick as Shasma takes it across ice to the net. Kevin Carr slides over and pads that one away. And the Grizzlies get it back down to our left-hand side. Komets go cross ice. Icing waved off as it's chased down by Mason Baptista. Puck comes to the near side. Here's Jamie Shafsma. Bobby Shea to the net. That's blocked. Loose in the slot. Komets get it back. Turn and fire. And another pad save by Kevin Carr as he kicked it along. Good job by Kevin. Already have enough Kevin Carr saves to fill a first intermission. Puck comes back down to our left. Bobby Shea for Fort Wayne. Oh, the Komets give it up. Here's Ryan Walters. Tough angle shot. And it's loose. It's on the line. And we get a whistle. Fighting the puck again was Michael Hauser. The Grizzlies had Harms skating in. As the Komets last night coughed the puck up quite a bit. Unfortunately there, Hauser got a piece of something there as it trickled through. Pellet, Grasscamp, Ryan Walters out there with Leibinger and Taylor Richard. Pellet had his second 3-game scoring streak of the season snapped last night. Mike looking to get things back. Off the face-off, Walters throws it to the net. It goes wide. Komets will come behind the net, and they turn it over again. Out in front, one-timer, Pellet. Puck still loose. Puck on the line, and Hauser has it. As Pellet goes flying past the goal. Another bad giveaway by Fort Wayne. Grizzlies trying to take advantage of it. With 14:30 left to go, here are the first period, no score, and we'll try it again with Pelech, Higbee, Walters, Leibinger, and Taylor Richard. Taylor, by the way, is still 5th in the ECHL in scoring by defensemen, 5 goals, 4 assists, 9 points in 13 games. He's still tied to the league lead in goals by D-men with 5. As Pelech will swat down a puck that the Komets were trying to get around the wall. Now Leibinger gets a piece of it, and Charlie Graskamp drops back for Taylor Richard. Taylor, getting held up, and now turns it over, but now the Grizzlies get it back. Graskamp loses it. Graskamp, Thompson for Fort Wayne, and now they'll go cross ice with it. They were making a change. The Grizzlies had some trouble. Here's Walters cross ice for Graskamp as he tries to bounce it ahead to Michael Pelech as it skips away, and Pelech looking to chase it down. Cody Soul, far side. Garrett Thompson for the Komets. Up the near wall, skating in Kravchenko. Angles, slot, shot, comes high over the bar and off of the back wall as Ike will get it to Cliff Watson. Two former teammates at Michigan Tech. Boy, if you didn't know anything about Michigan Tech hockey, you sure do now, don't you? Puck comes up the near side. There's Kademi firing a shot that bangs in off of Kevin Carr. Shot to the net again from the point. That's blocked up by Sam Windle and CJ Ike. Now Zach Saar will whack it back down to our left. Zach trying to take it away from Leonard. Up the near side, Ralph Kademi. So we have good energy in this game. I think just looking to get a few more shifts where you're working in the corners down low as Garrett Harr, a nice pass to Eric Higbee, drops back to Richard, who will carry it out of the Grizzlies zone. Talent crosses the red line, and he'll throw it in. Travis Howe out there for his first shift, gets screened off the puck, and Kademi trying to work it along as gets tied up with Higbee, and the Komets will pick up a puck as Grizzlies stop skating in the neutral zone, but Utah will get it back, and Leibinger will push it along. Chris hits Higbee. Nice job by Eric reaching out to stick it along. It's knocked away. Leibinger gets it back, crosses the line, tries to work in, gets taken off the puck, and Archer Tyanulin has it for the Komets. Shaftsma throws it into the corner. I still think we're kind of playing a Fort Wayne style of game right now. This puck comes back down low. Shea! Kevin Carr slides over and bats it out to the wall. Gets stopped there by Kevin as puck comes back into the right wing circle. Now it's the point. Shea takes it. Cross ice. Blocked in front by Leibinger. Never got through. Harms carries it along for Mishak. Ryan skates in. Tries to drop it for Harms, who picks it up. Tries to turn in and fire. He takes it off the wall. Mishak hustles in. Now Olsen as it's knocked away. And Richard comes back out to get it for Utah. Now Harms from the neutral zone will throw it in. Watson gives chase, drops it back for Ryan Olsen. He gets yanked off the puck, but still has it. And cycles back down low for Charlie Graskamp. Charlie looking for Ryan Walters. Grizzlies in the middle of a change. Here's Szydlowski coming back the other way. Hits the ice, but doesn't draw a minor penalty. Here, the save by Carr. Rebound save, Kevin Carr. Oh, baby. Grizzlies not in position again, just watching from the neutral zone, but Kevin Carr makes a couple stops. We'll come back to the Maverick Center in 1 minute. 11:31 left to go in the first period. No score, thanks Kevin. This is Grizzlies hockey, and you're listening to it on Utah's Classic Country, AM 1370. What do you got, Tyson?
The importance of scoring first this season, and how important it is tonight.
Sounds good. Draw coming up to the left-hand side of Kevin Carr. 8:29 into the first period. We've already seen 9 shots from Fort Wayne, 9 saves from Kevin Carr. And just kind of feel you're playing Fort Wayne's game. Off a face-off here, I want to be careful. Komets scoring a goal off a face-off last night to tie us at 2 after the Grizzlies had a 2-1 lead that they held on to for 2:35. Komets applying pressure. Grizzlies get it up ahead. Oh, they just missed Michael Pelech at the line, and Komets back there. Saul has trouble with it as he'll just work it back, and it's played by Dennis Kravchenko. Komets don't connect on a pass. Comes all the way back down to our right-hand side. Icing waved off by Mr. Kleinendorst, and the Grizzlies will carry it back the full 200 feet. Here's Pelech. Puck broken up. Garrett Haar pushes it back to Walters at the red line. Off the far side, he finds Michael Pelech. Walters going to the net. Here's a puck. It's off the back wall as Ryan Walters trying to get to it on Batista, but the Komets will pick it back up. Jason Binkley comes in off the back wall. Binkley will push it ahead for Baptista, who looks to keep it moving. Now Ike gets a piece of it, couldn't come away with it. Puck rolls in onto Kevin Carr, who's ready to move it along here. Grizzlies go off the wall, but give it up. Kademi as it comes off of the post, and a tough giveaway. The wrong guy to give it up to. As Grizzlies look like they had it out. Now CJ Ike in a 1-on-3. He lets shot go, and now running into his own goalie, Curtis Leonard, coming back and going after CJ Ike. Good job there, CJ getting the scoring chance. They'll give Utah an offensive zone draw coming up with 10:13 left to go here in the first period. Well, trying to get something by Hauser here, looking to take that 1-0 lead. Let's go down to Tyson.
CJ, the captain of the Grizzlies, getting a little bit of a scuffle in front of the net. It's important for the Grizzlies to score first. They're 5-0-1 on the season when they score first. I don't want to, not to make it a completely positive subject, but they're 0-6-2 when they don't score first. So scoring first is going to be big for the Grizzlies. Get off to that early momentum. Shots 9-4 Fort Wayne. So the Grizzlies going to have to be in the offensive zone a little bit more here in the next 10 minutes or so.
Grizzlies control the face-off. Watson to Leibinger. Chris to the net as it comes in wide. Utah trying to play the puck along as Harms holds it in at the line. Here's Misiak trying to play it on a delayed offside. Fort Wayne will come back with it. Jamie Shaftsma gets to Tyson Fawcett. Puck comes back onto Kevin Carr, who is going to move it up ice, and now is just going to freeze it up. Tyson, last night you said you're not related to Tyson Fawcett. You're confirming that.
Absolutely. No relation there.
Okay, thank you. Draw coming up to the left-hand side of Kevin Carr, who's 9 for 9, 10:06 into the first period. Again, Grizzlies just looking to get that sustained puck possession going in the Fort Wayne zone. And again, adding Ryan Walters back to the lineup tonight. That's a big deal for the Grizzlies, especially for the power play. We've been 5-on-5 this entire time. Again, Ryan was called up to Belleville. Let's just say it was complicated, and he came back. He started the year in Europe, and you can't sign a AHL tryout if you've played in Europe. You have to be signed to a full AHL contract, and he was going up there on a tryout. Here's Walters out in front, comes off his stick. Watson to the net. Walters trying to tip it home, so that's why Walters is back, and that's really unfortunate for him. It's a rule that really doesn't make any sense. Who cares if you played in Europe? Why can't you sign an AHL tryout? But nevertheless, Ryan is back with Utah as Graskamp gets around a man, gets held up, and comes away with it. Cross ice for Pelech. Walters to the net. They go to Ryan. He tips it in, and he scores! Ryan gives the Grizzlies a 1-0 lead on a nice little flip from Michael Pelech. Charlie Graskamp will get an apple. 10:41 to the first period. It's 1-0 Utah. That was a nice job there by Utah coming up ice in transition as Pelech got it to Ryan Walters, who now has 8 points in 5 games with the Grizzlies, and that will be his first goal with Utah, but big to get Ryan back. And nice job there by Michael Pelech. Mike was great last night, Tyson. You knew that some points were going to start dropping for him as well.
Absolutely. 8 assists on the season for Michael Pelech, 13 points. Good to get Ryan Walters his first goal in his second stint as a member of the Grizzlies. Had over 30 with Rapid City last year.
So the Grizzlies will get it back in onto Hauser as it does indeed go Walters from Pelech and Graskamp. So after Mike had that 3-game scoring streak snapped last night, now 13 points in 14 games with 8 assists, and Charlie Graskamp has 5 points in 7 games on 2 goals, 3 assists. And Welcome back. Ryan Walters picking up his first goal of the year. Now 8 points in 5 games for the Grizzlies. Comes back along. Harrell chase it down. So the Grizzlies last night held a lead for 2 minutes and 35 seconds. As puck comes in off the back wall, some great scoring chances for Fort Wayne here as Kevin Carr still at 9, so he hasn't seen anything in the last 3-4 minutes here coming back from that first media timeout. Grizzlies being outshot 9-5, but have a 1-0 lead. Last night they outshot the Komets 35-31. As Grizzlies just roll a pizza right to the high slot. As Maggio picks it up, it's redirected onto Kevin Carr. He's there to make the save. Yeah, cleared a puck through the high slot at about 4 miles an hour. And it was picked up by a Fort Wayne D-man who sent it into the net. But Tyson, as you talked about last night, being outshot 10-5 right now, Grizzlies got 35 shots, the second highest shot total allowed by Fort Wayne this year. They don't give up a lot of shots.
Yeah, they don't give a lot of shots up. They possess the puck pretty well, and it's one of those things where, you know, the Grizzlies don't really want to get in some sort of track meet because Fort Wayne's got pretty good team speed. So I think that, you know, the more shots that both teams are putting up, advantage Fort Wayne. So for it to be 10-5 right now, Fort Wayne's already taken 10 shots. Grizzlies going to have to find a way to possess the puck a little bit more and limit those shots by Fort Wayne.
Draw on the left-hand side of Kevin as it comes back out of the high slot. Here's Maggio, fires it in, comes off of Kevin Carr. Leonard back there for Fort Wayne, cross ice back for Maggio. Cross ice back for Leonard. Jamie Shaftsmo will flag it down along the left wing wall. Back Maggio in front, nobody home, looking for a redirection. Here's Harms. Mishak trying to catch up to it on the breakaway pass as it's fielded by Hauser, and he'll push it back up ice. Oh, Grizzlies didn't miss by much there, right? Mishak on a breakaway. Now up ahead, here comes Grasscamp with Mishak trying to roll it for Olsen. And it comes back down, Watson to Grasscamp. Back down to our right-hand side. Watson, D to Sam Wendell. Back to Cliff Watson. Sam Wendell, a +4 in his last 2 games after a +3 Sunday, a +1 last night. Sam an even or better in 5 of his last 6. A cross-ice pass, Szydlowski from Tyanulin, and Grizzlies must have got a piece of that. It went high in the air as the Komets grinding, trying to tie us back up, and Utah trying to hold a lead for a little more than 2 minutes tonight. That was the longest they held a lead for last night. Up far side, here comes Grasscamp. Walters to the net. A puck comes in off of a Fort Wayne D-man as Walters was down pretty low there, and the pass came out between the dots as it's knocked down. We had 5-on-5 this entire time here. 7-12 left to go in the first period. Szydlowski is skating in, knocked away, gets it back, leaves it for Tyanulin as Leibinger waving a stick down for the Grizzlies, and Chris will push it into the near corner. And it's back out. Richard trying to wheel. Here's Szydlowski as it's off of Kevin Carr's glove and out of play with 6:53 left to go here in the first period. So Utah has a 1-0 lead. Grizzlies have scored first, Tyson, in 5 of their last 6 games. There was only 1 game on that trip they didn't score first on. So 4 of the last 6, with Fort Wayne getting the first goal last night. You want to increase the lead, though. The 1-goal leads are tough. I mean, you're essentially tied. Trying to find a way to go up 2-0 as the Komets look to tie. Here's Soul from the high slot, sending it in wide, and Taylor Richard on the backhand will get it back out to the neutral zone. Again, Tyson giving us that stat that when the Grizzlies score first, they've had some good success this year scoring first. Grizzlies 5-0, 1-0. Up ahead, Grizzlies looking for C.J. Ike as Cody Soul digging in. We're going to have a penalty coming up, and it's going on the Grizzlies. Tyson Fawcett will take it back down low. It's going to be blown dead. A little bit of a scrum there along the Fort Wayne bench, and a hold on C.J. Ike, who's not happy with it. He's going to go off the penalty box. Well, Jonathan Satarski pretty much blew the game last night for Utah with an interference call that he made, or didn't make, and then Taylor Richard got that double minor. Fort Wayne scored 8 seconds in, and Grizzlies already not particularly enthralled with Mr. Satarski again. And I'll leave Tyson turned down for the next 10 seconds, let him cool off for a bit. Right, Tyson?
Absolutely. I got a little bit into it that third period. Yeah, it was one of those things. You had a goaltender interference wasn't called, and the power play goal immediately. It kind of changed the momentum in that third period for sure.
Puck comes off the wall. CJ not happy with that call either. You got a better view than I did, and a better view of CJ being less than thrilled. Deep down behind the net as the Grizzlies get it cleared out of there, and Tynulin's going to come back the other way. Up the near side. Grizzlies trying to knock it down in the slot. Waugh gets it back as Harms digging. They keep it alive for Bobby Shea. Fort Wayne 1 for 2 last night on the power play, scoring 8 seconds. And left wing circle slap shot. Kevin Carr makes the save. And Kevin will hold on 31 seconds into this shorthanded situation. So the Grizzlies being outshot 12-6. And Kevin Carr's been great as Utah will come back out with Michael Pellick, Ryan Walters, Taylor Richard, and Chris Leibinger. So the Grizzlies' penalty kill has been pretty good. They went 18 for 19 on their road trip. Hadn't allowed a power play goal in 5 of the last 7, and 7 of 12 overall before last night. And again, only went shorthanded twice, but the Komets power play up to 4th in the ECHL at 24.1%. Grizzlies dropping to 7th at 87.9% here early in the season. Puck off the faceoff comes in, and Walters will get it to Pellick at the Utah blue line, and Michael will get it back out. Puck knocked away by Richard, doesn't get out. Colkin sends it in, takes a funny bounce off of the back glass, hits something there. Richard sent to the ice, penalty on Fort Wayne. So we'll go 4-on-4 here as Grizzlies look up ahead. Here comes Ryan Walters again, a breakaway. Ryan works it on Hauser, backhander, he scores! Ryan on a shorty, and the Grizzlies take a 2-0 lead, second goal of the night for Ryan Walters. So 9 points in 5 games for Walters, and the Grizzlies getting that shorthanded goal to go up 2-0, 58 seconds in to that Fort Wayne power play. So how about Ryan Walters, folks, back here at the Maverick Center for the first time since February of 2016, and he's got 2 goals in the first period. And for Walters, that's his 3rd multiple-point game in 5 played with the Grizzlies. So I think they're figuring out how to sort this out. There was going to be a penalty on Fort Wayne, and I mean, they should stay on the power play, right? Since we scored on the delayed penalty. I mean, if you could come up with something better, we'll take it. Walters from Richard and Leibinger. That's the first shorthanded goal of the season for Utah. That's a nice pass ahead to Ryan, working in uncontested on that breakaway with 5:20 left to go here in the first period. They're going to put 2 minutes up on the board for the Komets, and we're going to go 4-on-4 here. I mean, it's confusing. I mean, I'd have to get out the rule book, which I don't have with me at the moment. As that's a big goal for Ryan, and he's buried a couple, Tyson.
Absolutely, 2 goals tonight. Olivier Roy, I think he did something right after Walters scored. He either slammed his stick on...
Okay, so that's the penalty. Waugh took the puck after the Grizzlies scored and fired it out of the net, so it's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct on him. Thanks, Tyson, for that clarification. So we're going to go 4-on-4 here. So Fort Wayne would have still been on the power play, but another minor called. And here comes Ryan Mishak. Ryan, Higbee, Mishak going to the net. Puck knocked down as Mishak back out. Higbee trying to play it. It comes back out along that left wing wall. So we're 4-on-4 here for the next 45 seconds. Puck comes all the way back down to our right-hand side, and icing on Fort Wayne is roughing is going to be the call on Waugh. Okay. It doesn't come off on a goal, on a delayed penalty. I told you, my rule book is actually in my car. I don't have it up here with me. You could have called a minor there on Olivier Waugh for that one as well. Draw coming up to the left-hand side of Hauser. Again, playing 4-on-4 for the next 33 seconds. Grizzlies doing some good work down there with Harms and Ryan Olsen, Wendell, and Cliff Watson. Puck comes near side. Shasma, again, the 2-0 lead. You want to stay focused here So often you see a 2-0 game become 2-1 instantly. The team just takes the foot off the gas for a second against Fort Wayne. Just a team you can't do that against. Binkley, shot save. Good job by Carr. Now, Kademi, Soul fires the net. Blocked by Watson. Wendell will reverse it, and the Grizzlies are on a power play. 4:15 left to go here in the first period. It was a shorthanded goal by Utah, but it wasn't a goal with an extra attacker because Utah hadn't gotten Kevin Carr off yet. As puck comes near side, here's Walters looking for Graskamp, and the Grizzlies are offside. So the Grizzlies going up 1-0, and then 2-0. Ryan Walters scoring 2 goals, 3 minutes and 59 seconds apart. So that's a good thing for the Grizzlies. Last night, nobody could hold a lead in the first 40 minutes. Utah held a 2-1 lead for 2:35. Fort Wayne, a 1-0 lead for 3:50. Here the Grizzlies score 2 goals in 3:59. So instead of giving the goal back up, Utah actually takes a 2-0 lead. And they're on the power play here. As puck all the way back down to our right. Puck comes in onto Kevin Carr. Walters getting those 2 goals. He's out there with Graskamp, Richard, Pellick, and Leibinger, who carries it ahead. Pulling up, Walters whips it for Michael Pellick. Back to Ryan Walters along the left wing wall. Back down low for Michael Pellick. Back down low for Ryan Walters. Pellick. Utes on the power play for the next 13 seconds. Walters gets, Richard gets cross-checked down. Fort Wayne doesn't get it out. Leibinger cross ice for Ryan Walters. Nice pass. Here's Richard firing it to the net with Pellick in front. Hauser has trouble with it. It stays loose. Grizzlies still battling for it. Graskamp comes away with it, but out of the penalty box, it's going to roll along, and Waugh trying to catch up on Kevin Carr, and Kevin gets out and makes a breakaway save. Komets come back, still firing it in, diving down. It's broken up by Leibinger. Utah comes back the other way, a 3-on-2. Graskamp to the near side. Pellick gets it to Walters. Ryan fires to the net. Oh, he missed just high with Graskamp out in front. What a save there by Kevin Carr. Grizzlies were just looking to float it along, and it just kept rolling to the Fort Wayne player coming out of the box, and a huge stop there by Kevin Carr. Oh, man. With 2:44 left. Puck comes into Kevin again. He'll steer it along. Sam Wendell. Travis Howe out for a shift here, and now the Grizzlies working along. Here comes C.J. Ike with Howe coming along. Ike fires it in, and it goes high. And now you can really feel the Grizzlies have gotten a jump from those 2 Ryan Walters goals. Again, after 7 assists in 4 games with Utah on the road trip as they went unbeaten in 4. Ryan getting called up, returning last night. Wasn't in the lineup for the Grizzlies last night. Puck broken up as it comes back the other way. So multiple points in 3 of 5 games for Ryan Walters since coming back to Utah. What a trade that was. Again, you knew you just had to make it. You couldn't pass up Ryan Walters regardless of what you were giving up there. And you wasn't going to be around forever. You had to pull the trigger. You couldn't give Peter Sivak any more time to get going, and he still hasn't gotten going. Comes back along as Kevin Carl baseball bat swing it to the far wall. 1:38 left to go in the first. Grizzlies up 2-0. Here comes Watson. Rolls it in on Hauser. And Tyson, I'm sure you can feel it on the bench after those 2 goals in 3 minutes and 59 seconds. The guys seem to be hopping.
Absolutely. A lot of intensity, a lot of enthusiasm on this bench. Guys encouraging each other to work hard. It's one of those things Tim Branham's kind of said, hey, hard work in, hard work out every shift. And it's paying off in this first period for the Grizzlies. As offensively, they've been pretty aggressive here in this first period. Certainly the last 5 or 6 minutes, and it's really shown on the scoreboard.
Want to see if you can get another one. And I mean, Kevin Carr in the 0-0 situation, the 1-0 situation, and the 2-0 situation, just some real period-changing saves. Again, puck. Komets trying to work it in. Yeah, the Grizzlies got themselves a good one in Kevin Carr. Puck comes back out to the point. Maggio. Tim Branham telling me on that road trip, he said, I should have traded for him last year. I said, are you kidding me? There's no way former Grizzlies coach Jason Christie would send a goalie like that to Utah. He still holds a grudge. Puck comes in near side. A minute left to go as the puck is intercepted. Grizzlies trying to go to Harms. He skates in. 1 man to beat, left wing circle. Drops it for Higbee. He'll flag it down. Nice idea there by Harms. Grizzlies, though, didn't get a scoring chance, at least not yet. Back down low. Higbee, puck far side. 39 seconds left to go in the first period. As the Grizzlies had some rushes up ice last night early that Had to look at the video. Now Harms picks up a puck in the neutral zone, left wing circle. He'll fire this one as it deflects high. 25 seconds left to go as the Komets will come up ahead. Saar gets a piece of it. Garrett Haar back there for the Grizzlies. 18 seconds left. Watson to Haar. Near side, here's Ike trying to get a piece of it. Knocked down. Watson picks it up, comes flying in. Let's shot go, and Hauser is there to make the save. 5.6 seconds left, and now Travis Howe and Cody Saul getting into it as Travis fought for the 6th time last night. It just has such a big impact when he does that. It just gets the guys really going. Grizzlies scoring a goal 3 minutes and 50 seconds after he did so last night, and 3 straight goals after he did it in the second intermission on Sunday in Wichita. Hey Tyson, you don't need 13 years of being an executive producer like I have to be able to guess who you're going to get during the first intermission to talk to live on the bench.
Well, Ryan Walters is a fast guy, so hopefully I can find a way to get Ryan Walters.
Okay.
I mean, he's fast though. I might not be able to catch him, but Hal and Saul are exchanging some words. Baptista and Ryan Olsen exchanging some words as well. And you can see a frustrated Fort Wayne team. What you don't want is for Fort Wayne to take a fight and try to gain momentum back in this hockey game. The Grizzlies are the ones that are up 2-0.
Yeah, absolutely. And Travis Howe realizes that. People don't realize how smart Travis Howe is and how he senses the game and when to make a move. Walters, Pellick, Olsen. So Tim Branham, hearing Tyson, sends Ryan Walters out for a shift just to make sure he doesn't sneak off to the locker room during the end of the period. With 3 seconds left, the Komets come away with it. Szydlowski chips it high into the air. That's going to be 20 here for the Mavericks Center. And the Utah Grizzlies have a 2-0 lead on Fort Wayne. Shots 13-10, and now Cody Saul and Travis Howe at center ice getting engaged. As the linesman stepping in, telling Fort Wayne to go to the locker room. Utah this year, for the 3rd time in 14 games, getting more than a goal in the first period. Both of those games they have won. So 2-0 this year when getting 2 or more in the first period. Going to try and hold on here as Tyson will grab Ryan Walters for us. 2 goals in less than 4 minutes to give Utah a 2-0 lead. We'll start our first intermission coverage with Ryan Walters, Tyson, and highlights coming up next. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies on Utah's Classic Country, AM 1370.
Two goals here in the first period. How'd that feel to kind of finally get on the scoreboard with a couple goals?
Yeah, it felt great. Fans are getting us into the game. It's almost a packed house, and to get 2 goals in the first period against a strong team like this, it's huge for our team, and we got a lot of momentum right now going into the second.
Seems like all year long Kevin Carr's come up big. 13 stops and 13 saves here in this first period. Once again, coming up big for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. He does it a lot, almost every single game. So I'd like to give him a break here in the second period, maybe a little bit less shots. But, that's why he's our starting goalie right now. He's just, I think he was goalie of the year a couple years ago for a reason, and we need him to do that, and I'm glad that he is.
Seems like finding a lot of chemistry here. Ryan Mishiak, Ryan Olsen, Brendan Harms. That line was tremendous last night. Good period once again for those 3.
Yeah, unfortunately I wasn't able to make it to the game last night, but I heard good things in the locker room today, and that's a fast line and a lot of skill. So I'm happy to see, and with Harmsy as a rookie, I'm happy to see how well he's been playing, and hopefully they keep it going in the second as well.
Looks like things are starting to get chippy between you two guys. What are we going to expect here in the next 20 minutes?
Well, I think most important thing is we got to keep our head. That's what I was trying to tell the guys. We got 2-0 lead with all the momentum. We don't need to get into any of that stupid stuff right now. If the time comes, we got Howie. He's nails. Everybody knows that. He can throw. So if something needs to be done, I'm sure he'll do his job and take care of it.
All right, thanks for the time, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that's Grizzlies forward Ryan Walters. Grizzlies lead the scoreboard 2-0, even though Fort Wayne has outshot the Grizzlies 13-10. When we return, we got highlights and analysis from this wild first period. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey on Utah's Classic Country, AM 1370. In the 2 goals here in the first period. How'd that feel to kind of finally get on the scoreboard with a couple goals? But Hal and Soul are,
in Wichita. Hey, still battling for it. Graskamp comes away with it, but out of the penalty box, it's going to roll along and still battling for it. Graskamp comes away with it, but out of the penalty box, Graskamp comes away. Gets out and makes a breakaway save. Komets come back, still firing it in, diving down. It's broken up by Leibinger. Utah comes back the other way, a 3-on-2. Graskamp to the near side. Come back, still firing it in, diving down. It's broken up by Leibinger. Utah comes back the other way, a Welcome back here to the Mavericks center. Ryan Walters, 2 goals in 3 minutes and 59 seconds. Kevin Carr goes 13 for 13. Grizzlies lead 2-0 after 20 minutes of play. Let's go down to the Grizzlies bench. Tyson is with Ryan Walters now with 3 multiple point games in his first 5 with Utah, 9 points in 5 games.
2 goals here in the first period. How'd that feel to kind of finally get on the scoreboard with a couple goals?
Yeah, it felt great. Fans are getting us into the game. It's almost a packed house, and to get 2 goals in the first period against a strong team like this, it's huge for our team, and we got a lot of momentum right now going into the second.
Seems like all year long Kevin Carr's come up big. 13 stops and 13 saves here in this first period. Once again, coming up big for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. He does it a lot, almost every single game, so I'd like to give him a break here in the second period, maybe a little bit less shots, but you know, that's why he's our starting goalie right now. He's just I think he was goalie of the year a couple years ago for a reason, and we need him to do that, and I'm glad that he is.
Seems like finding a lot of chemistry here. Ryan Mishiak, Ryan Olsen, Brendan Harms. That line was tremendous last night. Good period once again for those 3.
Yeah, unfortunately I wasn't able to make it to the game last night, but I heard good things in the locker room today, and you know, that's a fast line and a lot of skill, so I'm happy to see, and with Harmsy as a rookie, you know, I'm happy to see how well he's been playing, and you know, hopefully they keep it going in the second as well.
Looks like things are starting to get chippy between you 2 guys. What are we going to expect here in the next 20 minutes?
Well, I think most important thing is we got to keep our head. That's what I was trying to tell the guys. We got 2-0 lead with all the momentum. We don't need to get into any of that stupid stuff right now. If the time comes, we got Howie. He's nails. Everybody knows that. He can throw. So if something needs to be done, I'm sure he'll do his job and take care of it.
All right, thanks for the time, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that's Grizzlies forward Ryan Walters. Grizzlies lead the scoreboard 2-0, even though Fort Wayne has outshot the Grizzlies 13-10. When we return, we got highlights and analysis from this wild first period. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey on Utah's Classic Country AM 1370.
So we'll go 4-on-4 here. As Grizzlies look up ahead. Here comes Ryan Walters again. The back glass hits something there. Richard sends the puck. Knocked away by Richard. Doesn't get out. Works it on Hauser. Backhander. He scores! Ryan on a shorty! And the Grizzlies take a 2-0 lead. Second goal of the night for Ryan Walters. Cross ice for Pelech. Walters to the net. They go to Ryan. He tips it in, and he scores! Ryan gives the Grizzlies. Camp gets around a man, gets held up, and comes away with it. Cross. Who cares if you played in Europe? Why can't you sign an AHL tryout? But nevertheless, Ryan is back with Utah as Graskamp gets around a man, flip from Michael Pelech. Charlie Graskamp will get an apple. 10:41 to the first period. It's 1-0 Utah. as puck. Carr, rebound save, Kevin Carr. Here's Szydlowski. Oh, baby. Grizzlies not in position again. Just watch them not in position again. Grizzlies not. Here's as grass. Here's Szydlowski coming back the other way, hits the ice, but doesn't draw a minor penalty. Here, the save by Carr, rebound save, Kevin Carr. Oh, baby.
The Utah Grizzlies lead the Fort Wayne Komets 2-0 after 20 minutes of play here at Maverick Center. That's an early save from Kevin Carr as he kept the game scoreless early in the hockey game. Good game so far for the Grizzlies. Fort Wayne has outshot the Grizzlies 13-10. Both teams 0 for 1 on the power play. Good for the Grizzlies because Fort Wayne's one of the better power play teams in the ECHL, and that's kind of a big point in this hockey game. As you think about Fort Wayne, they are 4th in the ECHL on the power play. Grizzlies 7th in the penalty kill department. But with Fort Wayne, with being 4th on the power play at 24% going into tonight, that's basically how they won a lot of hockey games. 5-on-5, they're When they get on the power play, though, they make the extra pass. They got pretty good team speed, and they find a way to put the puck in the back of the net. So Grizzlies got to find a way to do that in the next 40 minutes of play if they're able to put up 2 points. But the scoring got done by the Grizzlies in the second half of this first period. How about Ryan Walters, a guy coming into tonight with 7 assists on the season. That's 7 assists in 4 games for the Utah Grizzlies, which is already ranked 3rd on the club. And Ryan Walters at the 10:41 mark of the first period gets the Grizzlies on the board.
As Graskamp gets around a man, gets held up and comes away with it. Cross ice for Pelech. Walters to the net. They go to Ryan. He tips it in, and he scores! Ryan gives the Grizzlies a 1-0 lead on a nice little flip from Michael Pelech. Charlie Graskamp will get an apple. 10:41 to the first period. It's 1-0.
So the Grizzlies lead 1-0 at that point. Walters, his first goal as a member of the Grizzlies this season. Michael Pelech got the assist. That's his 8th on the year. Charlie Graskamp also with an assist, his 3rd of the season. So that line in particular doing a pretty good job getting things going for the Grizzlies. Last night was the Olsen, Mishiak, Harms line. Today it's Walters, Pelech, and Graskamp getting the job done. So it was 1-0 Grizzlies up until the 14:40 mark of the period when once again it was Ryan Walters.
Puck knocked away by Richard, doesn't get out. Colkin sends it in, takes a funny bounce off of the back glass, hits something there. Richard sent to the ice, penalty on Fort Wayne. So we'll go 4-on-4 here as Grizzlies look up ahead. Here comes Ryan Walters again, a breakaway. Ryan works it on Hauser, backhander, he scores! Ryan on a shorty, and the Grizzlies take a 2-0 lead, second goal of the night.
Shorthanded goal by Ryan Walters gives the Grizzlies a 2-0 lead. And then Olivier Roy gets a roughing penalty at that same time. It was a delayed penalty call, and the Grizzlies maintained control of the puck in time for Ryan Walters to get a goal. So it was a rare delayed penalty goal. And Olivier Roy ends up serving that penalty after the Ryan Walters goal. There's a little bit of confusion because Olivier Roy, after Walters scored, the puck bounced off the back of the net, and he ends up whacking the puck away, which probably should have been a penalty in its own right. But they'll take the 1 2-minute roughing penalty, which Fort Wayne eventually cleared off, but remained 2-0, and it remains 2-0 Grizzlies in the Fort Wayne Komets, thanks to Kevin Carr's save late in this first period.
Graskamp comes away with it, but out of the penalty box, it's going to roll along, and Waugh trying to catch up on Kevin Carr, and Kevin gets out and makes a breakaway save. Komets come back, still firing it in, diving down. It's broken up by Leibinger.
I'm going to get my thesaurus out to try to find some new adjectives to describe Kevin Carr. He's been spectacular. I actually don't have my thesaurus with me tonight. We'll see if Adam Turner can find a few adjectives to describe how Kevin Carr has performed in this first period. I know that Adrian's got Adam doing a few things, and I think we got a deal that if Taylor Richard scores, he gets a Utah dog. But nevertheless, Adam, his job for the next 40 minutes, our Grizzlies insider, find some adjectives to describe how great Kevin Carr has been for this Utah Grizzlies team. 13 for 13 in save opportunities in that first period. He does a pretty good job of keeping teams in games. And so for the Grizzlies, you kind of had that feeling, all right, if you can get 2, if you can get 3, most likely you're going to find a way to win the hockey game. And so Grizzlies off to a good start after 20 minutes of play. Grizzlies 5-0-1 when they score first, and I don't want to, to give you the flip side. The Grizzlies are like 0-6-2 when they don't score first. So it is important for them to get off to an early start. It's just that thing that happens all the time in hockey. It seems like it happens with every hockey team, where you get off to that early momentum, and for some reason it just builds a lot of confidence in a hockey team. I don't know what it is, because it's not like the Grizzlies are any different than any other team in the ECHL when they score first, get that early lead, play from ahead. And it was interesting, late first period, there was a lot of chippy action between the Fort Wayne bench and the Utah bench. I know Baptista and Ryan Olsen exchanging some words across the bench, and so it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the second period. Fort Wayne's not immune from throwing some cheap shots here and there. Baptista kind of whacked Olsen up across Olsen's stick while both of them were sitting on the bench, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Fort Wayne is down 2-0, trying to get momentum back on their side, and it's pretty clear that they're not getting the puck possession that they're used to getting. And so they get their big guy, Cody Solo, who's 6'5", 242 pounds. And, him and Travis Howe exchange words at the end of the first period. And you can kind of tell that Fort Wayne is figuring, all right, if we can't win the hockey game right now, we'll win the fight, get some momentum back, and try to win the hockey game that way. And so it's going to be an interesting next 20 minutes of play, because you see a Fort Wayne Komets team that looks like they want to fight, and the Utah Grizzlies hockey team that's up 2-0 simply wants to play hockey. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think that the next 20 minutes you got to watch the cheap stuff. You get if you're Travis Howe, you're watching out for that sort of thing, and if you're the Grizzlies, just kind of keep playing your game. And Tim Branham this weekend, his game is keeping it simple. Keeping things simple. Not trying to be too fancy with things, because I think he figures with the offensive firepower that his team has, lines 1, 2, and 3. I think he figures that if you're the type of club that is gonna win against this Fort Wayne Komets team, you're gonna have to play a clean hockey game. And by a clean hockey game, I mean you're gonna have to play a style of hockey where you're just taking it one shift at a time. You're kind of doing the little things in order to find a way to make it count on the scoreboard. So should be a fun second period of play here at the Maverik Center. Should be interesting. Might see a fight or two with Fort Wayne and Utah. Both teams are really exchanging some words at the end of the first period. Ryan Walters, being a team leader, you heard it earlier on in the intermission report, kind of knows that this isn't what the Grizzlies should be doing right now. Fort Wayne wants to get you in a couple fights. They want to bait you into some things. And for the Grizzlies, things are going pretty well for you right now. Just keep doing what you're doing on the ice and let the other stuff take care of itself. So we'll see what happens in the next 20 minutes of play in regards to rough play, fighting, that sort of thing. because it looks like a very frustrated Fort Wayne Komets team, even though they did win last night, and it's just one period of play, only down 2-0. So we'll see what happens here in the next 20 minutes of play. The Grizzlies and the Fort Wayne Komets. When we return to the Utah Grizzlies intermission report, we'll have second period of action with the voice of the Utah Grizzlies, Adrian Denny. That's coming up next. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey on Utah's Classic Country, AM 1370. What's the score? 27-0 Miami. Wow. Which quarter? Wow. Good day for the SEC, huh? Georgia falling apart. Did Jazz score 20 yet? Have the Jazz put up 20 points yet?
And welcome back to the Maverick Center as we get ready to go to work here in the second period of play with the Grizzlies holding on to a 2-0 lead on Fort Wayne. 2 goals in 3 minutes and 59 seconds from Ryan Walters, getting the Grizzlies going and taking that 2-0 lead. And Kevin Carr, absolutely spectacular between the pipes as Kevin goes 13 for 13 in that first period. Again, as I told Adam Turner, our Grizzlies insider from the Salt Lake Tribune during the first period, you know, the saves that Kevin made to keep this contest 0-0, 1-0, and 2-0, just changing everything about this hockey game, and that's what a star goalie like that will do. So the Grizzlies here as we go to work in the second period. 5-on-5 we skate. Gonna look to build on this 2-0 lead. You heard Tyson mention it during the intermission. Last night it was Harms, Olsen, Misiak, and in this first period it's Graskamp, Pelech, and Walters, as Michael Pelech already has 2 assists. The primary assist on both of those Ryan Walters goals. Graskamp has 1. Leibinger has his 2nd assist in 3 games for Utah. So Michael Pelech already multiple points for the 5th time this year. That puts him ahead of Kyle Thomas for the team lead. So again, you knew anytime a scoring streak is snapped for Michael, the next game he's probably going to come back with 1 or 2. Definitely a point-a-game guy here in the ECHL, and most certainly is back to that with 14 points in 14 games, 5 goals, and 9 assists. Grizzlies have the puck in their own zone as Ryan Olsen sends around the back wall. Here's Windle taking it and sending it all the way back down to our right-hand side, and we'll have icing. In the second period last night, we entered at 1-1. Grizzlies took a 2-1 lead in the first 5 minutes that they held for 2 minutes and 35 seconds. So looking to hold on to that one as Utah, for the 2nd time in 4 games, gets a player to record a 2-goal night. Brendan Harms did it last Saturday night, so 2nd consecutive Saturday night the Grizzlies have had a player get 2 goals. So Brendan Harms and now Ryan Walters. So 2nd time this year Grizzly has scored 2 goals in a game, as Brendan Harms was the first. On the 2nd goal, they've made 1 change. It's going to go Walters from Pelech and Leibinger, so that's what we had. Just clarifying that, and the Grizzlies will work it along. Here comes Walters with Pelech going to the net. Ryan down low, nice drop pass, leaves it for Leibinger, who got hooked, and the Grizzlies are going to go on the power play. So coming back in transition, a 4-on-2, Grizzlies quickly getting up ice, and they're going to go on the 1-man advantage for the first full 2-minute situation. It's going to the penalty box for Fort Wayne. Maybe Garrett Thompson. CJ Ike took a hook with 6:18 left to go in the first. Utah up 1-0, but then the Komets, Marc-Olivier Waugh, got whistled for a rough, and then could have got unsportsmanlike conduct, but Walters came back short-handed, so the Grizzlies an abbreviated 5-on-4. Now with Ryan Walters back in a 2-minute situation on the power play after assisting on all 4 Utah power play goals on that road trip last week when they went 4 for 21. So up 2-0. Here we go. Leibinger has it already, an assist. He'll leave it along for Richard. Leibinger winds, fires, it comes in high. Richard back down low. Pelech to the near side. Walters spins as it is tipped back down to our left-hand side. So an early power play for the Grizzlies here. 41 seconds into the second period. Kieran Thompson gets that hook for the Komets. So trying to make it 3-0. Here's Walters coming in, crosses the line, gets it in. As Pelech, now Graskamp, back down low for Michael Pelech, trying to work it along. Was knocked down, and now trying to wheel it around the back wall. Walters comes away with it nicely, gets it out to Garrett Hart. Garrett gets some power play time here in his season debut. Graskamp, one-timer, and Richard just misses the net. Oh, Taylor, a tough angle shot there, and it looked like it was ticketed to the back of the cage. Walters sending it down low. Michael Pelech, great movement there by Utah as Pelech leaves it, but Saul intercepts and takes it and clears it for the Komets. As we're going to have a whistle, Grizzlies have 6 men on the ice. So that'll negate the power play, 63 seconds in. So both teams have negated their first power plays of the night. And the Komets will get a 4-on-4 situation here, and then a 63-second power play. So, oh, that shot by Taylor Richard. Tyson, you had a good angle on that. How'd that one miss?
I don't know. The net moved. A lot of things moved. Just the puck did not move to where it was supposed to go. And just one of those missed opportunities, and unfortunately now Grizzlies are killing a penalty about 15 seconds later. Just one of those things in hockey. You just got to find a way to convert and complete a pass and a shot.
Yeah, so, yeah, we're early in the period here, and you never want to lose momentum early. Is Travis Howe going to skate over and serve that bench, that minor for too many men on the ice? Grizzlies got caught with 6 on the power play. As Komets control, here's a shot that just misses the net. Now Leonard back to control. Harms will force it back to the neutral zone, and now Watson plays it, and Olsen beyond the red line will just send it in. Nice job by Ryan Olsen getting that puck deep as the Komets going to come back the other way. Still playing 4-on-4 here. Maggio, right wing circle shot, blocked by Cliff Watson, and that comes up and out of play. So a big special team situation here, and again, we saw last night how the Komets won the game because of special teams, scoring the only power play goal. Now they're on a 4-on-4. They're going to be on the power play. They're down 2-0. We're early in the second period, so just a situation for the Grizzlies that definitely want to see them manage. Well, left-hand side of Kevin Carr, Richard Leibinger, Pellick, and Ryan Walters out there for the Grizzlies. Pellick will take this draw, opposed by Dennis Kravchenko, as it's controlled by Fort Wayne. Kademi knocked down by Leibinger. Good job by Chris. And back out to the neutral zone. The Komets will play it. Back down. Binkley skating in. Batted away by Kevin Carr on the shot from the slot. As it rolls back by the net, Komets trying to center it. Leibinger gets a piece of it. Tim Brand has been pretty pleased with him, and it's stuff like that. Kademi to the net. Save made by Carr. It's batted out of there by Taylor Richard. So at close proximity, Ralph Kademi a one-timer, and the Grizzlies get it out. Good job by Richard after that first Kevin Carr save. As Garrett Thompson out of the penalty box, and the Komets are on the power play. For the next 56 seconds, Grizzlies trying to go 2 for 2 as each team 2 abbreviated power plays. Grizzlies already 0 for 2, and back the other way come the Komets. Tyanulin, Szydlowski, puck comes in around that back wall. Held in by Bobby Shea to the near side. Szydlowski back to Shea. Puck right wing circle. Szydlowski, Kevin has it. Closing the pads and getting a whistle with 33 seconds left to go on the power play to keep it a 2-0 count. 3:13 into the second period. If you're just joining us, Ryan Walters 10:41 into the first from Pelican Grascamp, and then Walters from Pelican Leibinger. 3 minutes and 59 seconds later, Utah's first shorthanded goal of the year. So Grizzlies already a goal on special teams, trying not to give one back here as Olsen will box up Szydlowski against the wall and get the puck cleared. Under 30 seconds left to go on this shorthanded situation. Bobby Shea back the other way for Fort Wayne. Puck comes back down low. Tyanulin. 10 seconds left to go on this power play. Centering pass, cross ice. It's knocked down by Windle, but finds Szydlowski, who gets back out to Shea to the net. It's knocked down by Waugh. Comes right wing circle, and the tic-tac-toe pass back to Szydlowski. Doesn't connect. House out of the penalty box. Grizzlies 2 for 2 on 2 abbreviated shorthanded situations. Harms intercepts in the neutral zone. Grascamp picks it up. Right wing circle shot fought off by Hauser, and again he can't control it as the Grizzlies will get it far side. Ryan Walters back down low. Grascamp will glove it out of the air, trying to go to Pellick in the trapezoid. Now Grizzlies grinding. Good shift here after the 5-on-5. All started by Brendan Harms knocking a puck down. Komets trying to come back with a 2-on-2. Tyanulin, tough angle shot. Kevin Carr has it. As the Komets had 2 guys both in good positions to shoot, and Carr was there to close the pads and make his 18th save. So Kevin already been called upon 5 times here in the first 4:18. Komets had 9 shots in the first 9 minutes of the game in the opening frame as well. So again, Fort Wayne coming out, shooting the puck, and Grizzlies goalie Kevin Carr there to make the stop. So Kevin 4-0-1-0 in his last 5 starts with the Grizzlies. Puck knocked away. Windle, Saar, as Navin from his knees will take it and send it in deep. Puck knocked down by C.J. Ike right to the right-hand side of the goalie, and Komets will come back the other way. C.J. trying to force a turnover there. Now CJ flies deep down, gets grabbed. Leibinger trying to get it out. Here's Saar as CJ Ike, far side, back down low. Sam Windle there to play it. Sam rolls it along. Navin plays the puck, trying to find an angle, and Windle again to get it back down to her right. Again, Sam a +4 in his last 2, a +3 Sunday, a +1 last night, even or better in 5 of his last 6. The Grizzlies defenseman out of Bemidji State. Here's Leibinger again active, forcing a puck away. Misiak comes back with it with Brendan Harms. Ryan to the left wing circle. He lets the shot go. It comes in wide and marks around the near side. Cody Soul to Mason Baptista. It's intercepted by Taylor Richard. Watson. Richard trying to push it ahead for Misiak. Intercepted by Fort Wayne in the neutral zone. Shaftsmith throws it in, and now Kevin Carr is going to come out and play it, reverse it behind the net. And the Grizzlies go Watson to Olsen. Ryan in a hurry. Skates in, left wing side, left wing circle. Backhander as it comes in wide and back to the neutral zone as Har and Watson back there for Utah. As Har goes to Cliff, who throws it in, and Hauser back to play it. Sends it off the glass. Harms will hold it in for Utah. Gets to Misiak. Back out. Here's Garrett. Hard to the net. It's redirected by Harms right onto Hauser. Windle back down low. So we're starting to see some good 5-on-5 hockey here from the Grizzlies, in particular this Harms-Olsen-Misiak line. After Walters, Pellet, Graskamp got the 2 goals in the first period as Windle gets tripped up on the play, and Michael Pellet takes the puck and rips it cross ice. Get it out of his own zone, and a great job there by Mike. And Grizzlies just making the simple play. Fort Wayne doesn't complete a pass, and they ice the puck. It'll come all the way back down to our left-hand side. But 6:21 gone by here in the second period. Liking the Grizzlies' 5-on-5 play after they killed that penalty. And again, as the Grizzlies start playing better 5-on-5 hockey, the puck possession increases and decreases the amount of shots that Kevin Carr sees after he saw 5 in the first 4 or 5 minutes here. Pellick on the face-off. Walters back out. Leibinger sends it off of the back wall. Here's Cliff Watson. Graskamp trying to keep it alive. Watson, now it's playing back out to the blue line, and Charlie Graskamp trying to feather it along. Here's Ryan Walters now playing the puck. He'll skate in right wing side as Ryan Walters going cross ice for Graskamp with Pellick in the area. It's not connecting, and off the wall, the Komets looking for a change. Cody Soul send one in as it comes deep down, and Kevin Carr, Watson back for Ryan Walters. Approaching 7 minutes into the second period, still 2-0 Utah as Graskamp gets cross-checked at the red line, comes down to the ice, and now Pellick, oh, he hooked a guy. Grizzlies lucky that there wasn't a second call there. Szydlowski back the other way, centering pass broken up by Ryan Walters as he gets back in front of his own goalie and makes a nice defensive play. As here's Leibinger battling for the puck. Chris now comes down to the ice as Fort Wayne picks it up. Richard takes his man off the play. Grizzlies looking to get a puck deep here, get this game back in control. Off the glass, Walters trying to glove it, and the Grizzlies do indeed get it back out to the neutral zone. Ralph Kademi spinning around for the Fort Wayne Komets, getting that trade that sent Kademi to Fort Wayne, so the Grizzlies could acquire Kyle Thomas, who's being signed by the Anaheim organization. The Grizzlies desiring to hold his playing rights so he could be in the system as puck comes up and out of play. With 12:13 left to go here in the second period. And again, to get a player like Kyle Thomas, you have to give up a player like Ralph Kademi. 12:13 left to go in the second period. It's still 2-0 Utah. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies on Utah's Classic Country, AM 1370. What do you got, Tyson?
Good defensive period here for the Grizzlies.
Sounds good. Hey, Tyson.
Yeah.
Remind the players to stay out for God Bless America at the end of the second period, and then grab your interview after God Bless America. So remember that. I'll remind you.
All right.
Just keep the guys out there, line up on the blue line, okay?
All right.
Back here at the Maverick Center where the Grizzlies lead at 2-0. Adrian Denny upstairs here on Radio Row calling you all the action My broadcast partner Tyson Whiting is back down on the Grizzlies bench. Hey, Tyson.
Hey, Adrian, a good defensive period for the Grizzlies. In fact, good defensive first half of this game for the Grizzlies. Garrett Haar looks like he hasn't skipped a beat in his first game with the Grizzlies this season. Sam Windle's played pretty well this first half, blocking shots and whatever. And Chris Leibinger looks like he's really settled in his second week with the Utah Grizzlies. Good defensive work for the Grizzlies so far tonight.
Yeah, Leibinger's been fantastic. And again, the Grizzlies worked to get him out of college last year for the playoffs. And again, just didn't work out, but stayed on Tim Branham's radar, and he got him back a couple weeks ago. And it's funny how that works out when you keep pursuing a guy that you really would like to have, and you've got good scouting reports, and guys like Leibinger turn out. Here's Windle rolling along. Out in front, Higbee trying to hack. Puck's right along the goal line as Grizzlies just all of a sudden got on top of Michael Hauser. The puck comes back out to the Utah zone. Richard to Ryan Misiak. Ryan crosses in. Now Pelech will roll it for Richard. Taylor, toe drag right wing circle shot. Save made by Hauser as Misiak tried to corral the rebound. Just kind of off of his stick there, just a little in front of him as the Komets don't get it out. They cleared it right through the slot. Harms got hooked, and now he comes back in the neutral zone to get the puck. Again, Brendan Harms, just a real workhorse out there. Misiak, left wing side, spinning around as a bounding puck comes for Cliff Watson. High slot, dangling, keeps it for the line. Now spinning a backhander, comes back down low. Harms, back out, Leibinger. Hey, winds, fires, it's blocked. Harms gets it back, turns, save. Made by Hauser. Great shift here by Utah. Olsen. Watson to the net. Harms picks it up out of the air and now gets tripped up, but the Grizzlies are going to go on the power play. That's an awkward trip there as Brendan got tripped into the right wing corner wall. And again, another great shift. Starts with something simple yet hard-working that Brendan Harms did. It's going to be a cross-check, and the Grizzlies draw a power play. I mean, you know, it's a cliche, but I mean, cliches are usually true, right? Stereotypes, cliches, I mean, there's got to be some truth, right? So a 5-on-5 shift, you either score a goal or you draw a power play if you're playing great hockey, right? And the Grizzlies got some good chances but stayed with it and draw the power play right there. And they'll be on the one-man advantage for the third time tonight. Just some good, hard-working play by Brendan Harms. And again, that's what working hard does. It's hard to play against, and sometimes you're forced to take a penalty like that, or in a situation where you can't help but doing it. Draw coming up to the left-hand side of Michael Hauser. Off the face-off. Pelech. Graskamp. Back out Leibinger. Another penalty on Fort Wayne. Grizzlies going to get an extended two-man advantage. Richard just going to roll it on the stick of Cody Soul. And interference going to be the call, and the golden opportunity here for the Grizzlies as Namiko goes down to write another penalty sheet. Two-man advantage here, Tyson. Grizzlies got to be pretty excited, and they've been playing well. Looking to put this puck in the back of the net as Jamie Shaftsma goes to the penalty box.
Absolutely. This is the type of time where you gain momentum, you kind of finish this game off with a 2-0 lead already. On the other hand, if you're Fort Wayne, you find a way somehow to climb aboard and stop this 5-on-3. It gains some momentum for them. So this could be a huge turning point in this hockey game either way. Either the Grizzlies go up 3-0 or it's 2-0 and Fort Wayne somehow has momentum because they stopped a 5-on-3. It's going to be an interesting next 2 minutes.
Yeah, to give you another cliche, if you don't score on the 5-on-3, you don't deserve to win the game. And here we go. 1 minute and 52 seconds of 5-on-3 time as Jamie Shaftsma right off of that faceoff gets a hold. So 8 seconds has been kind of an interesting figure on special teams last couple nights. Fort Wayne scoring 8 seconds into their power play to make it 3-2 on Friday night on their first power play of the night. As Tim Branham here is going to call a timeout and make sure the guys are all set and ready to go. We're going to have a lot of time here on the 5-on-3. And again, Grizzlies haven't had a lot of 5-on-3 situations this year. I think this might only be like the second or third in 14 games. But 1 minute and 52 seconds of 5-on-3 hockey. Power plays 3 and 4 to follow. Up 2-0. Looking to make this a 3-0 contest. Again, just all stemming from hard work in the O-zone with the 2-0 lead. Pelech, Walters, Harms, Watson, and Richard, as Walters will step in for Michael Pelech and take this face-off. Grizzlies control, here we go. Watson to Taylor Richard. Taylor had it roll off his stick, gets it back. Cross ice Watson. Back for Taylor Richard. Harms is on the back door. Walters, Richard, Watson. Pellick's in front of the net. Back down low. Walters to Watson. Ryan back to Watson. Fires it to the net. Hauser trying to find it, and the Komets clear it as it came right through the slot. A big rebound given up there. And Fort Wayne going to make a quick change as Ryan Walters hustles back the other way for the Grizzlies. Ryan pulls up, so got a chance. Cross-ice pass comes to Watson. He'll take it to Harms. Back to Watson. Here's Brendan Harms. Now off the left wing circle. Leaves it back for Taylor Richard. Grizzlies on an extended 5-on-3. 1:03 left to go on that. Watson takes in the right wing circle for Ryan Walters. Deflected, but it comes back to Watson. He holds it in. Left wing circle back for Taylor Richard. Grizzlies looking for their angle. Richard to the right wing circle. Takes it down low now. Takes it behind the net. Bangs it off the wall. Takes a bounce there for Watson as Fort Wayne has a good penalty kill. Walters to the net. It's blocked. Komets clear it, not out. Watson holds it in. Richard, he scores! Taylor with his ECHL lead, 6th of the year in scoring by defensemen. And the Grizzlies get a 5-on-3 power play goal to make this 3-0. They were so patient there. They didn't panic. They had 46 seconds left on the power play, and Richard able to knock that one home. Again, now leading ECHL defenseman with 6 goals. It's 3-0 Utah. And a great job there by the Grizzlies, Tyson. Just so patient. And Taylor has a knack for getting a big goal. He's so instinctive out there, running things on the blue line, and just stepped into the left wing circle, fired at home, 3-0 Grizz.
Well, got to get him capitalized. I was wondering if they're going to be a little bit too patient there on that 5-on-3, but that's certainly big for the Grizzlies being up 3-0 and get Adam Turner out, Utah dog. We said the next Taylor Richard goal, Adam would try a Utah dog. Well, Taylor Richard scored. Somebody needs to buy Adam Turner a Utah dog right now.
Yes, they do. Puck comes in right wing side. He's frantically typing his story. Puck comes out in front as the Grizzlies still on the power play, but the Komets come in hard. Oh, he doesn't have to get the Utah dog. It was tipped in by Pellick. Pellick from Richard and Watson. Here's Olsen behind the net. It's a 3-point night for Pellick. Grizzlies trying to score here on power play number 4 that has 3 seconds left as it's expiring. Olsen, puck knocked down as the Komets trying to come back the other way, looking to work a 4-on-1 as it's fired in wide. Komets skating in, Dennis Kravchenko. 8:25 left to go in the second period. Sneaky Michael Pellick, Tyson, apparently got a stick on that.
I guess Adam's just going to have to stick with the pizza after the game in the office. No Utah dog for Adam Turner. He's off the hook.
Yes, you are. He'd still take the Utah dog. He keeps his own scorebook. Draw coming up to the left-hand side of Carr. So 4-on-1 there. And again, you know, with the skill of Fort Wayne coming back the other way, they fired the puck wide in the 4-on-1, and that's because Kevin Carr's been so impossible for him. 18 for 18, and maybe forcing the Komets to think a little there, going in on that 4-on-1 situation. Loose puck, Grizzlies come back the other way. Higbee and Saar. Eric, left wing circle, batted away by Hauser as Higbee cross-checks his man to the ice, and the Grizzlies are going to go short-handed here with 7:55 left to go in the second. So again, that goal, Pellick from Richard and Watson. So Taylor will get the primary assist there, 10 points in 14 games for him. Michael Pellick picks up his 6th of the year, which gives him the team lead in goals now. 5th multiple point game of the year, and Pellick scoring his team leading 2nd power play goal of the year. So Watson getting in on the scoring as those guys kind of controlling things down there. Watson and Richard, and Pellick getting a stick on it in front of the net. Shea, Szydlowski, puck comes back out. Power play number 3, shot by Shea, and Kevin Carr there to make the save. So big goal there, making it from 2-0 to 3-0. We've been at a 2-0 game for quite a while. Really, you look at it, almost 16, 17 minutes there, and you go on the 5-on-3, Tyson, you want to score, and Grizzlies called timeout. Tim Branham called the guys over. They had their plan. he left that unit out there for a while when they got the goal.
5-on-3 is the ultimate momentum change for either team. You get the 5-on-3 goal, it obviously is a big deal for you, but if the other team stops it, big momentum for them.
So the Komets throwing it in front. It's knocked down by Watson and steered out of there by Taylor Richard. Back down to our right. Great job by the two guys on the assist on the power play goal, on the penalty kill right there. And Kevin Carr didn't have to face anything. Puck knocked down. Goes through the neutral zone. So, first time for the Grizzlies in, what do you figure, since October 27th that they get a power play goal that Ryan Walters isn't involved in. Puck comes pinballing along as Ryan Misiak has it for a second. Komets on the near side. It's poked away at the line by Misiak with 1 minute left to go in this short-handed situation. Waugh picks it up. Maggio at the line. Ike tries to get a piece of it. It comes into the corner, and Sam Windle will whip it around, and Richard takes it and clears it all the way back down to our right-hand side. 40 seconds left. Again, after you scored on the power play, you want to keep Fort Wayne off the board, even though it is 3-0, but you're up right now 2-0 on special team scoring. Last night it was 1-0 Fort Wayne, and they won the game. Here you're up 3-0. Maggio! And a save made by Kevin Carr. The slap shot from on top of the left wing circle. It's a big stop there by Kevin. And the Grizzlies with 27 seconds left to kill obviously want to get through this as we're starting to go down the stretch here in this second period. 6:21 remaining in the second. The Grizzlies have a 3-0 lead for the second time this year. Last time they had one was 3 weeks ago tonight in a 3-0 win over Idaho. They had that 3-0 lead in the first period. Puck to the far side. Komets holding it in. 18 seconds left to go on this power play. Here's a shot blocked as Fort Wayne, some guys in good position, but Harms knocked it down. Komets somehow still keep it in front of the line. Kademi up the left wing side. Binkley fires to the net. Glove saves Sam Windle, and it's cleared to the corner by Leibinger. Great shot by Sam. Grizzlies get the clear. They're now 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. 1 for 4 on the power play with a shorthanded goal. So a big 3-point night for Michael Pellick, factoring in on all 3 Utah goals. And last night he didn't score, but you could just feel that Mike was dialed in and ready to start tacking on 2, 3, 4. Shot thrown in by Navin. Now it's deflected up and out of play, and we'll step aside. 5:28 left to go here in this second period. Michael Pellick tips in a Taylor Richard shot on the 5-on-3. Watson another assist. Kevin Carr now 20 for 20. And again, after seeing 5 shots in the first 5 minutes, now in the middle 10, Kevin hasn't really seen anything after the Grizzlies got that goal. It's 3-0 Utah. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies on Utah's Classic Country, AM 1370. Welcome back to the Mavericks Center. 5:28 left to go here in the second period. Grizzlies with that 3-0 lead. As we go down to the Utah Grizzlies bench, Tyson Whiting is down there. Tice?
Good energy here in the second period. Good 15 minutes of hockey defensively. A little bit confusing with the 5 defensemen there. You know, guys staying off and splitting shifts and whatnot. So good job by the Grizzlies here in the first 35 minutes of play.
Puck knocked down by the Grizzlies in their own zone. And again, Utah's been very aggressive getting to pucks and that sense of urgency and trying to get things cleared. Again, as we said, Kevin Carr, 18 shots faced in the first 25 minutes, but now he's only seen 2 in the last 10 minutes. As Fort Wayne battling for it. Puck knocked along, and Graskamp trying to get it away. Watson has it. Walters steers it back. Numbers for Utah. Watson, Pellick, Walters, tip pass back to Watson as it comes back behind the net. Too many passes, but Grizzlies meant to do the right thing there. Very unselfish, and coming up ice on the 3-on-1, and we're up 3-0, so we can't complain too much, right? Puck comes back to Leibinger. Nice job there. Again, everybody thinking the other guy was in a better spot. And, you know, they weren't wrong. We just didn't execute. Puck back in the neutral zone. Here's Taylor Richard taking a stab. 4:13 left to go in the second. Loose puck. Mishak trying to get to it in the circle. Trying to get a Harms, so the Komets come back on that mini 2-on-1 as Harms back out to play it for the Grizzlies. Brennan back down low. Ryan Olsen has it. Another good 5-on-5 shift here to Taylor Richard. Taylor to the net. That's a goal for Taylor. It's 4-0 Utah. 3:56 left to go in the second period on another great shift from Olsen, Harms, and Mishak. 6th of the year for Taylor, I think. Grizzlies up by 4. How about that one, Tyson? Another great 5-on-5 shift, and Utah's broken it wide open.
Looks like Adam's going to be busy second intermission getting himself a Utah dog finally.
Now who's buying it? Is he buying his own Utah dog, or are we putting it on the house account, or how's that going to work?
I'll buy the Utah dog.
Okay.
I picked Taylor Richard, and it looks like Fort Wayne's pulling their goaltender. Hauser's out. Garrett Bartus is in after allowing 4 goals there. That Richard goal is probably one he probably should have had as Richard was out near the blue line. Good job by Taylor, though. 6th goal in the year. In only his, I mean, he hasn't played all that. He's played in his 14th game, getting 6 goals. Tremendous job by Taylor.
Yeah, so Taylor has multiple points for the 3rd time this year. Harms is back on the scoreboard for Utah for the 4th time in 5 games. Ryan Olsen for the Grizzlies has a 4-game scoring streak. And so the Grizzlies have that 4-0 lead. And as Tyson said, Garrett Bartus is now in between the pipes for Fort Wayne. Here's a big hit by Travis Howe. Puck knocked away, and back comes Fort Wayne. Kravchenko drops it off. Here's a shot deflecting up and out of play. So you get the momentum. You get the 2-0 lead, 3-0 lead, 4-0 lead. And Fort Wayne on this trip, they've already taken the first 2 games. Colorado on Wednesday, Utah last night. So a veteran team that, you know, we were concerned last night going to the 3rd because they know how to win. Once they get into a game, it's 1-goal game, tied on the road. They know how to back up and win, which they did. But now you're in a situation, they've won the first 2 games, they're down 4-0, and they're just going to take the points and be happy as the Grizzlies look to continue a good 60 minutes of hockey. Shot in onto Kevin Carr, save, rebound is loose to the crease, and it's knocked down by Watson. Travis Howe back the other way, leads a 3-on-2 as he looks for David, and it's out in front of him. Deep down, Grizzlies keep it alive. Travis Howe, now Baptista back the other way for Fort Wayne. Crosses her head to the near side. Kravchenko! It's sticked and held onto by Kevin Carr as he'll glove it. And Tyson, it's not just that the Grizzlies are up 4-0, it's how they're playing on both ends of the ice. The energy that they have combined with the hard work, and that's why it's 4-0 Utah with 3:14 left to go in the second period.
Very sharp game by the Grizzlies. Good offense, good defense, good defensive forwards on this team. One thing Tim Branham likes is he likes 2-way players. He likes defensemen who can contribute offensively. He likes forwards who can contribute defensively. Ryan Mishak, in particular, this second period, has had a tremendous defensive period for the Grizzlies. And so you're seeing a good 2-way game by the Grizzlies so far tonight.
Puck along the near side. Maggio works into the corner, rolls it out in front. Here's a shot by Waz. It comes along the line. Carr makes a save. Rebound. It's knocked down. And back out of the point. Fort Wayne trying to get back in it. Grizzlies knock it down. Komets still have it in front of the line. Good shift for them, but the Grizzlies will force it away, and Pellick finds Zach Saar. Zach trying to wheel along, lost the puck. Higbee comes cross ice for Garrett Haar, who finds Ryan Olsen. And Ryan just going to do the simple thing, take it and send it back down to our right, get it deep. You're up 4-0. There's 2:38 left to go in the second period. And you're starting to feel some more energy from Fort Wayne here, trying to get a couple quick 2 to send us to the second intermission. Puck comes back down to our left as it's deflected up and out of play with 2:23 Let's go here in the second period. Utah with that 4-0 lead. So Richard involved in both Grizzlies goals here. And how about Taylor scoring by defensemen? 6 goals, 5 assists, 11 points in 14 games for Taylor. And again, entering today, he was 5th in the ECHL and scoring by defensemen. But what a second year he's having as a leader for Tim Branham. Comes back into the Fort Wayne zone as it's pushed up ahead. Colkin sends it in deep. Carl find Grasscamp, who works it all the way back down to our right-hand side. And icing going to be the call on the Grizzlies. So good bounce back here. It was a game last night, Tyson. It was pretty frustrating. You felt like you played some pretty good hockey. You just didn't win the special teams battle, and then you lost the game. And tonight you're just winning everything.
Absolutely. A lot more crisp game, a lot more passes being completed. Guys seem to be in the right place at the right time tonight. And, you know, with Fort Wayne, you know, you probably figure out you win Friday. You're thinking, all right, we already got a split. And so Fort Wayne really hasn't brought the intensity like they had last night, and the Grizzlies are really capitalizing on that.
I think they did, Tyson, the first 10 minutes of the game, and then the Grizzlies got that goal and took the momentum back. And again, just have to go back to those early saves that Kevin Carr made in the first, in the second, and not seeing a whole lot, you know, as we go into the second half of the period after the Grizzlies take over.
That's probably why Fort Wayne at the end of the first period was doing a little bit of jawing with the Grizzlies. They've been relatively quiet the second period. I would have thought we might have possibly seen some fireworks. Didn't really see that sort of grudge carry over into the second period, and especially with that third goal. I mean, you could just see the momentum. Everybody's sitting on Fort Wayne's bench, and everybody on the Grizzlies bench is standing and into the game.
Don't you love being on the bench with that team down there? Just such a great group of guys. They're so stoked to be out there and playing with each other. They're all best buddies.
Absolutely, and you see what the opposing teams, most of the time they get on the bench and they just sit there. The Grizzlies, the Grizzlies, you know, when they're not out in the ice, they're standing up and they're engaged in the game.
Yeah, this is a team that's just going to continue to make strides. 5-2-2-0 in their last 9 after the 0-4 start. And again, just wanting to go out and continuing to win because they've done some really good stuff. And you hold on tonight, you're 6-2-2-0 in your last 10, and that's a .700 winning percentage in your last 10. And, you know, you were without Ryan Walters last night. You're without Gregor Hansen, Kyle Thomas, your top 2 leading scorers who are in the AHL because of injuries in Anaheim. And, boy, you've done some good work here. And just want to get through this second period, come out and make the sheet clean the final 20 minutes. A minute left to go here in the second period as the puck comes all the way back down to our left-hand side. Wendell. Har, Ike, Grizzlies trying to get one final puck out here. And, you know, the D-man for the Grizzlies have been really good all year. The only issues have been, you know, we just haven't scored enough goals for Kevin Carr when we've lost. But how about the D-core on this team? Sam Wendell, Chris Leibinger, Taylor Richard, Cliff Watson. It's a decent group out there. And you've got James Melindy in the AHL. But, Tyson, I think the good thing about these D, and Garrett Har is well back in the lineup tonight, they're just so composed out there. They play the structure and they just make that simple play. I think that's why our D are so good. They've been so consistent all year.
Absolutely, 5 good ones tonight. And, you know, when you get Mitch Jones, Rob Mann back, and you know, if James Melindy comes back, you got 7, maybe 8 defensemen. They all are pretty good.
Puck comes into the corner as Har trying to get it out. 28 seconds left. A bouncing puck. Pellick just trying to get it out of there. It's knocked down. And good job by Mike. He got it back out to the neutral zone with 22 seconds left to go here in the second period. Shaftsma to the right wing corner. Puck then to the net. Knocked down by Kevin Carr. And it's cleared. I think that was Travis Howe getting a piece of that one. It's going to die back in the Fort Wayne zone with 8 seconds left to go here in the second period with the Grizzlies leading it 4-0. Komets coming in at the last second, trying to wrap around as Zach Saar forcing his man into the left wing corner boards and Daniel Maggio. And that is 40 minutes of play as the Grizzlies have that 4-0 lead. Tyson will be on the bench in the live interview when he comes back to start the second intermission. All the highlights coming up as well. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies who lead up 4-0 after 40 right here on Utah's Classic Country, AM 1370. Brendan back down low. Ryan Olsen has another good 5-on-5 shift here to Taylor Richard. Taylor to the net. That's a goal for Mini 2-on-1 as Harms back out to play it for the Grizzlies. Brendan back down low. Ryan Olsen has another good. Harms back out to play for Taylor. It's 4-0 Utah. 3:56 left to go in the second period on another great shift from Olsen, Harms, and Mishiak. Sixth of the year for Taylor, I think. Grizzlies up by 4. Up the left wing side, Binkley fires to the net. Glove save, Sam. Kademi up the left. Kademi to the corner by Leibinger. Great shot by Sam. Nothing. Maggio with a save made by Fort Wayne off the board, even though it is 3-0, but you're up right now 2-0 on special team scoring. Last night it was 1-0 Fort Wayne, and they won the game. Here you're up 3-0. Maggio! Made by Kevin Carr, the slap shot from on top of the left wing circle. Okay, leave us in spots. Tyson's going to get an interview here, Al, so leave us in spots. All right, hold on just a second, Tyson. We are ready, go.
All right, I'm here with Grizzlies defenseman Taylor Richard, and Taylor picked up your 6th goal of the season. How did it feel to get back on the scoreboard?
It was good. Guys were working hard that period. We had a lot of energy. Worked a little play there. Libes rolled in, I rolled over. Ole found me, and guys were doing their work down low, got a screen, and just happened to go in.
Kind of felt like a big turning point in that game. 5-on-3 situation. It seems like in any hockey game, you know, if you're able to score on the 5-on-3, obviously huge momentum, game-changing type of play. But you know, if a team's down 5-3 and they end up stopping that, you know, they can carry a lot of momentum for them. So it kind of felt like a big turning point in that game, making sure you capitalize on that 5-on-3.
Yeah, it definitely was. If they would have killed that, they had the momentum, like you said. So it was really important that we found the back of the net. We didn't want to rush it. We just kind of wanted to find our opportunity. Pelly was in front. Cliff gave me a good pass shot. He tipped it. But yeah, it's a lot of hard work out there. We're working hard, so we're getting the penalties, they're getting the calls because they got to use their sticks and stuff. So we just got to keep the momentum, and it's good.
What do you guys got to do in the next 40 minutes with a 4-0 lead to kind of have a good third period to clinch the 2 points?
We got to keep energy up, stick to our systems like we have been doing. We've been playing a pretty good game. Defense first, obviously, and then that'll lead to offense, but mainly just stick to our systems, keep helping Carsey out back there, and just keep grinding.
All right, thanks for the time, Taylor.
Thank you.
All right, that's Taylor Richard. Grizzlies lead 4-0 after 40 minutes of play, even though Fort Wayne leads the shot chart 24-17. We got analysis as well as highlights from the second period coming up next. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey on Utah's Classic Country AM 1370.
Okay, we're ready, Al.
All right, thanks for the time, Taylor.
Thank you.
And welcome back to the Mavericks Center with the Grizzlies. A 4-0 lead. Taylor Richard, a goal and an assist in that second period. He is on the bench with Tyson.
All right, I'm here with Grizzlies defenseman Taylor Richard. And Taylor picked up your sixth goal of the season. How did it feel to get back on the scoreboard?
It was good. Guys were working hard that period. We had a lot of energy. Worked a little play there. Lives rolled in. I rolled over. Ole found me, and guys were doing their work down low. Got a screen, and just happened to go in.
Kind of felt like a big turning point in that game. 5-on-3 situation. It seems like in any hockey game, you know, if you're able to score on the 5-on-3, obviously huge momentum, game-changing type of play. But you know, if a team's down 5-3 and they end up stopping that, you know, they can't carry a lot of momentum for them. So it kind of felt like a big turning point in that game, making sure you capitalize on that 5-on-3.
Yeah, it definitely was. If they would have killed that, they had the momentum, like you said. So it was really important that we found the back of the net. We didn't want to rush it. We just kind of wanted to find our opportunity. Pelly was in front. Cliff gave me a good pass shot. He tipped it. But yeah, it's a lot of hard work out there. We're working hard, so we're getting the penalties. They're getting the calls because they got to use their sticks and stuff. So we just got to keep the momentum, and it's good.
What do you guys got to do in the next 40 minutes with a 4-0 lead to kind of have a good third period to clinch the 2 points?
We got to keep energy up, stick to our systems like we have been doing. We've been playing a pretty good game. Defense first, obviously, and then that'll lead to offense, but mainly just stick to our systems, keep helping Carsey out back there, and just keep grinding.
All right, thanks for the time, Taylor.
Thank you.
All right, Tyson, thanks a lot. Tyson Whiting down on the Grizzlies bench with Taylor Richard. He's back with scores and highlights from the second period. Grizzlies leading at 4-0. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies on Utah's Classic Country, AM 1370. Taylor Richard back down to our right. Great job by the two guys on the blocked. Komets clear it, not out. Watson holds it in. Richard, he scores! Taylor with his east their angle. Richard with his ECHL lead. Taylor. Maggio. Kademi. Harms back.
And welcome back to the Mavericks Center. Grizzlies lead 4-0 second intermission coverage here on Utah's Classic Country, AM 1370. I'm Tyson Whiting. Good two periods of play for the Utah Grizzlies. Played a full 40 minutes here. Now they just look to finish it up with a good 20 minutes of play to close out 2 points and get a split in the two-game series against the Fort Wayne Komets. So should be good. It's the second of a 7-game homestand for the Grizzlies. Interesting second period. I'd mentioned possible fireworks because of some sort of altercation between the Grizzlies and Komets at the end of the first period. Didn't really see any of that play out. Just some good old-fashioned hockey by the Grizzlies. A good two-way game for them so far. And so you kind of think of some turning points in the second period. I think the turning point was when the Grizzlies went on the 5-on-3 advantage, as there were penalties by Fort Wayne at the 9:15 and 9:23 mark of the second period. And it gave the Grizzlies a lot of momentum because, or it was kind of a game-changing type of moment, because you score on the 5-on-3, all of a sudden a 2-0 lead turns into 3-0. However, if you're on the side of Fort Wayne, if you're on the side where you're down 5 men to 3 and you're able to find a way to kill off that penalty, you're looking at change of momentum, and all of a sudden Fort Wayne's got the momentum. So I think it was a huge momentum play for the Utah Grizzlies and very much a game changer when Michael Pellet got on the board at the 10:38 mark of the second period.
Richard to the right wing circle, takes it down low now, takes it behind the net, bangs it off the wall, takes a bounce there for Watson as Fort Wayne has a good penalty kill. Walters to the net, it's blocked. Komets clear it, not out. Watson holds it in. Richard, he scores!
You talk about big momentum play. Richard scores. Pellet gets the deflection somehow, and so Michael Pellet gets credited with the goal, his 6th of the year. Taylor Richard, Cliff Watson the assist, making it a 3-0 hockey game. Just a slight deflection by Michael Pellet on it. Taylor Richard doing a pretty good job being aggressive and getting the puck on net. But nevertheless, Taylor Richard eventually gets his goal as he ends up getting his 6th of the year at the 16:04 mark of the second period.
Harms back out to play it for the Grizzlies. Brendan back down low. Ryan Olsen has it. Another good 5-on-5 shift here to Taylor Richard. Taylor to the net. That's a goal for Taylor. It's 4-0 Utah. 3:56 left to go in the second period on another great shift from Olsen, Harms, and Mishiak. 6th of the year for Taylor, I think. Grizzlies up by 4.
And, we mentioned in the pregame show, Taylor Richard scores a goal. Adam Turner would have a Utah dog. I haven't seen a Utah dog yet from Adam. I guess he says the concession lines have been a little bit busy, but nevertheless, Adam, he's got some pizza in the postgame, so maybe we'll get him a Utah dog here pretty soon. So it's 4-0 Utah Grizzlies, and one of the other members of the Grizzlies that's been pretty good through 40 minutes of play, although it's kind of redundant, is the play of Kevin Carr, who stopped all 24 shots.
Maggio, and a save made by Kevin Carr. The slap shot from on top of the left wing circle.
So Kevin Carr stopping all 24 shots he's seen through 40 minutes of play. As for Fort Wayne, Michael Hauser stopped 13 of 17. He got pulled. Garrett Bartus in 3 minutes 56 seconds has not seen a shot. So still haven't tested Bartus out much, but Fort Wayne pulled their goaltender after that 4th goal, and it's a 4-0 Utah Grizzlies lead after 40 minutes of play. So it'll be fascinating to kind of see how this last 20 plays out. The Grizzlies 1 of 4 on the power play. Fort Wayne 0 for 3. Obviously that power play goal on the 5-on-3 advantage for the Utah Grizzlies. Fort Wayne 13 shots in the first, 11 in the second for 24. Grizzlies 10 shots in the first, 7 in the second. They've taken 17 shots on the game. So it'll be something to see here in the last 20 minutes of play. Travis House played a good 40 minutes of play. Kind of being an intimidator as always, being in the right place, right time. Good defensive forward. Tim Branham likes to have those two-way players, and he's got plenty of those guys. Michael Pellick, two-way player. And even though Ryan Mishiak hasn't found the scoreboard yet in tonight's game, he's really played a good two-way hockey game, done a really good job on penalty kill situations, and generally doing a pretty good job defensively. So you're seeing good defensive forwards, and you're also seeing defensemen, as with the case with Taylor Richard. Cliff Watson has gotten an assist in this game. Leibinger has also gotten an assist in this game. You're seeing defensemen contribute offensively. So I think that's something to keep in mind here with this Utah Grizzlies team. You got a lot of good two-way players on this roster, and it's really showing up in a complete effort through 2 periods of play. But the Grizzlies look to capitalize and close out the victory on a Saturday night here at Maverick Center. When we return, we'll have Tim Branham's keys to the game as to what the Grizzlies need to do to get 2 points tonight. He gave them before the game. We'll play him next. That's coming up here on the Utah Grizzlies Intermission Report, as well as we'll have third period action from the Maverick Center. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey on Utah's Classic Country, AM 1370. Oh, I botched that.
Fresh throughout the entire game, and if we do that here tonight, we'll have success. Yeah, first of all, we got to play consistent.
Yeah. Sounds good. We could probably play another minute after this one, after the Operation Lifesavers. All right. And welcome back to Utah Grizzlies hockey here on Utah's Classic Country AM 1370. Just about ready to start the third period. Grizzlies lead Fort Wayne 4-0. Some college football scores of note. Utah loses to Washington State 33-25. Alabama, the #1 team in the country, holds off Mississippi State 31-24. And with 10:44 left in the fourth quarter, Oklahoma leads TCU 38-20. So be an interesting third period of action here as the Grizzlies look to hold a 4-0 lead and find a way to get 2 points here on a Saturday night. Tim Branham had his keys to the game as to what the Grizzlies need to do in order to get a win tonight.
Yeah, first of all, we got to play consistent. I thought we came out really well yesterday, and played with some good energy, and then in the third we kind of lost that and kind of got into some penalty trouble. So we got to make sure we play that consistent game for 60 minutes, and we'll be just fine. We got to keep things simple. I know we're adding Walters back to the lineup, but we're still missing two of our top forwards. We got to make sure we keep things simple and you know, make Fort Wayne come 200 feet to score a goal versus you know, 150 feet, and we got to keep our shifts short. I think you know, these games are fast-paced, and we got to make sure we keep our shifts short so that hopefully we can outchange Fort Wayne and stay fresh throughout the entire game. If we do that here tonight, we'll have success.
Grizzlies have played a complete 40 minutes of play, been a good two-way game. They have kept their shifts a little bit shorter than usual. Guys have been able to stay fresh through 40 minutes of play, and you're certainly seeing that on the defense. Cliff Watson doing a pretty good job, as well as Sam Wendell. Sam Wendell's probably having his best game all season. Mishiak Olsen, as well as Brendan Harms. So interesting third period of action here. The Utah Grizzlies up 4-0. Let's go to the booth for the voice of the Utah Grizzlies, Adrian Denny.
Okay, Tyson, thanks a lot. We're ready to go to work here in this third period as the Grizzlies hold the 4-0 lead. We've had some really good performances so far here in this contest. Ryan Walters' first 2 goals. Kevin Carr stopped all 24 shots that he's seen, and Michael Pellick has 1 goal and 2 assists. Puck comes up the near side. Maggio, Grizzlies will knock it down at the line. Push it along. Here comes Ryan Walters in a one-on-one. Ryan toe drag. Crosses, shot, forcing Bartus to make the save. Ryan aiming for the hat trick right there. What a nifty move as he got to the net. 45 seconds into this third period. Grizzlies still holding this 4-0 lead. 2 goals in the first, 2 in the second. Goals 2 and 3 came on special teams, with Walters scoring shorthanded to make it 2-0 with 5:20 left to go in the first, and then the 5-on-3 by Michael Pellick, 10:38 into the second. So, you know, 1-0 to 2-0 to 3-0 to both come on special teams. Really a couple big situations in this game that the Grizzlies were able to take advantage of. Kevin Carr stopped 13 in the first, 11 in the second. He saw 5 shots in the first 5 minutes of the second, and only 6 shots in the final 14 minutes. So Grizzlies again getting those couple goals, and again, same thing in the first. The shots kind of tailed off after the first 5 minutes or so of play. Komets trying to get it out. Again, Grizzlies just looking for the clean sheet here. Kevin Carr's been so fantastic. Now you got him 4 goals. Here's a shot on Kevin, and he's there for save number 25. Grizzlies trying to get it out. Wendell looking for Navin, but it was knocked down by Fort Wayne as puck comes back out to the line. Kevin Carr got a shutout 3 weeks ago tonight in that 3-0 win against the Idaho Steelheads. So Kevin looking for his second of the year. Again, stopping the first 25 as Fort Wayne will wrap up this 3-game road trip, winning in Colorado, winning in Utah last night. Kevin looking for career shutout number 9 in his second of this season, in his 9th start. Again, unbeaten in 5 of his last 6 starts for the Grizzlies. But again, we saw Kevin in Tulsa for 2 years. We saw him in Alaska. Just a guy that makes a huge difference for his teams, especially when they're good. Puck comes up in the air, and a stick got up as well. We're going to have interference coming up, and it's going to be a minor penalty here. That is going to go on the Utah Grizzlies as Garrett Haar is going to go to the bin. Here on Veterans Day at Maverick Center. Nice crowd. Going to be one of the top 3 crowds of the season as we wait for our official number. And Ryan Walters talked about the crowds, Tyson. He was fired up after 1 period after getting those 2 goals. Said the fans been great and really loud.
Absolutely. One of the best crowds of the year so far this season. I got to say, my guess about 6,500. Really good crowd tonight.
Yeah, I think you're pretty close. Here's Waugh. Colkin's shot misses the net as it's fired wide by Bobby Shea as the Komets still hold it in. So Grizzlies giving up that power play goal last night, trying to go here on the penalty kill in this hockey game. Grizzlies trying to get to a perfect 4 for 4. Fort Wayne 0 for 3 in the first 2 periods. Here's Bobby Shea. working down low. Again, the Grizzlies special teams. We mentioned the power play goal, the shorthanded goal, 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. Komets in the left wing circle. Puck comes back out by Slot. It skips over Bobby Shea's stick and comes back down to our left-hand side. Shea finds Colkin. 46 seconds in. Here's a shot blocked by Brendan Harms as Brendan came flying in. The puck gets deflected up and out with 17:07 left to go here in regulation. 4-0 Utah. Grizzlies trying to go to 6-2, 2-0 in their last 10. And again, you're already seeing that Mountain Division kind of get bunched up a bit down there. Allen and Idaho shared points tonight. Tyson will have the look at our scoreboard coming up during the post game. But Allen, Tulsa, Utah, Idaho, along with Colorado, spots 2 through 6 in the division, separated by 3 points entering tonight. It looks like Wichita is going to improve to 9-1 as Malcolm Cameron has a team off to another hot start. Wichita got off to a hot start last year. They were 6-1 and didn't win a whole lot after that as they got some call-ups and just never got going again with Malcolm. But we'll see how the Thunder continue here. But 9-1 is a pretty decent start for the Thunder, who have the #1 spot in the Mountain Division right now. And Colorado started to tail off a bit after Joe Canada got called up, as the Grizzlies will take the puck and clear it back down to our left. Rapid City has actually won 2 out of the last 3 games. So the Mountain Division's tight. Anytime you throw Rapid City into the conversation, it must be tight. Puck in the corner. Early on in the season, though, I'll point out. Puck comes along the wall. Back out to the point as time running down on the Fort Wayne power play as Harms gets tripped up. Grizzlies perfect 4 for 4. And again, up 4-0 here going to the third. It's all about the clean sheet. You want the PK to stay clean. You want Kevin Carr to get that shutout. And it's just going to depend on how well you play in front of him, because Kevin's going to make the first save, the second save, and sometimes the 5th and 6th saves. Puck comes into the crease area as Shaftsman hit it over the crossbar, almost a collision. That was a little scary as that one didn't miss by much. Little break down there by the Grizzlies as it comes into the corner. Zach Saar, Brad Navin. Zach Saar, I think, is going to be a guy that as the year progresses really turns into a valuable part of this team. He's 6'6", he's really fast, he's really skilled, and he can play mean too, which is going to be a big part of Zach's game. Here comes Ryan Walters for the rookie out of Penn State University. Ryan will dump it in. Graskamp, puck comes into the corner. Now back behind the net. 5 minutes into the third period. And the Grizzlies still have that 4-0 lead as Richard comes down to the ice. As he got tied up there with Baptista, so Kevin Carr going to play the puck. And now Richard works to Pellick to Graskamp. Charlie to Ryan Walters. Now comes down low as it's played along. Graskamp. Watson, save made by Garrett Bartus in relief of Michael Hauser. Grizzlies will be off until they take on the Colorado Eagles on Friday and Saturday, so back to Mountain Division play next weekend. And then Manchester will be in town Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Next weekend, folks, we're going to unveil the Grizzlies Grub Tub. It's a 32-ounce drink that you slide a bowl of chicken fingers or mini hot dogs with french fries on top of. And it's really yummy. The Grub Tub starts at $20. You can buy it online at UtahGrizzlies.com, and we'll throw in a lower bowl ticket in the process. So join us next week when we unveil the Grub Tub. The Grizzlies Grub Tub combo, a 32-ounce drink with chicken fingers, fries that you can hold in one hand. Grizzlies up ahead. Ryan Olsen, Meshat going to the net. Here's Watson to the net. Backhander by Ryan Olsen, and it's gloved up and out of play by Garrett Bartus. With an offensive zone draw coming up. And Tyson, what I've liked about this Grizzlies team this year is when they've had a 2-goal lead or more, they've still played like we're tied or it's a 1-goal game.
Absolutely. Bench is still kind of treating it like it's 1-0, 2-0. They're really still engaged in this game, and that's a sign of a good team. You know, whether you're down 4-1, up 4-1, up 4-0, you know, you're going to treat everything the same. The Grizzlies have really done a pretty good job of that. You see a team that's energetic, having a lot of fun on the bench, and really getting some things done. You mentioned the Grub Tub there. Seems like a pretty good idea, but I saw myself on the video board today, and I might need to mix in a salad with that Grub Tub.
Well, maybe, you know, substitute something and get a salad in your Grub Tub, Tyson. All you have to do is ask.
I think I'll do that.
Worst thing they're going to say is no. Puck comes into the neutral zone as the Komets will send it in from the red line, and Kevin Carr will whack it back out to the neutral zone. Puck comes cross ice, and the Komets will throw it in. So the unveiling of the Grub Tub coming up Friday and Saturday, and you can look at the thing at UtahGrizzlies.com. Also, Saturday night, Angels Hands night, as C.J. Ike picks up a puck. He's got Nabin. Oh, he tried to drop it to Brad, but he had a Fort Wayne D-man in the area. Couldn't quite get a clean look on that pass to Brad. Puck comes into the slot as the Grizzlies will whack it back down through the neutral zone. Binkley plays it. Baptista with 13:26 left to go in regulation. Tyanulin back down low, a centering pass, nobody home. And Pelech will play it off the wall. Oh, Walters was almost off to the races again. Pelech loses a stick. Fort Wayne skates in. Richard sticks away from Szydlowski, who pushes it high, and it comes back down to our left as the Komets making a change. Bobby Shea has the puck for Fort Wayne. Puck. Oh, Watson's getting hooked by Baptista. Jeez, Jonathan Satarski's already phoned in his to-go order. He's ready to get out of here. Hopefully somebody at Chili's is waiting out front for him when he drives by. He's in kind of a hurry. 12:54 left to go in the third period. We'll step aside, come back to the Mavericks Center in 1 minute. Grizzlies 4, the Komets nothing. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies on Utah's Classic Country, AM 1370. Back at the Mavericks Center with 12:51 left to go in the third period. Grizzlies leading it by a count of 4-0. Tyson, what was your guess on the attendance?
My guess is 6,550.
The good news is you didn't go over. The bad news is you're off by over 1,000. It's the biggest crowd of the year here at Mavericks Center on this Veterans Day. 7,656 your attendance tonight. So how about that? Nice crowd coming out to support the veterans and active military here on November 11th. On the near side, largest crowd of the season for Utah. And thanks to Metro PCS for making it all happen with free ticket vouchers for veterans and active military, along with those 1,000 mini sticks that went fast. The Grizzlies Metro PCS mini sticks, the first 1,000 fans in the Metro PCS booth they were gone long before the game even started. My parents were still on Wasatch Boulevard and we're out of mini sticks. Puck comes to Maggio. Cross ice, the Komets will throw one in. Leonard, Windle, puck comes back down low. Leibinger off the wall. Navin will take the puck and send it all the way back down to our left-hand side. 11:53 left to go here in the third period. In the game, the Utah Grizzlies lead 4-0. So, Tyson, you look at this box score in this game. Richard, 1 goal, 1 assist, and a +3 for Utah. Leibinger, a +2, 1 assist. So, Taylor getting his third multiple point game of the year for Utah. Walters is 2 goals, giving him already his third multiple point game in 5 games. Michael Pelech has 1 goal and 2 assists. Is Mike always just going to be there when you need something big? His 4th multiple point game of the year, his 2nd 3-point game of the year, because he's getting back down to our left. Watson an assist. Harms has another assist for Utah. So Brendan continuing to just be a great rookie acquisition. Tyanulin to the net. It's knocked down by Kevin Carr. Grizzlies trying to get it out. Harms has 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points in his last 4 games. 5-on-5 we skate. Grizzlies coming away with it. So multiple points of the contest for Walters. Richard, Pellick as they throw it in and score from the left wing circle. And it's a 4-1 game with 8:49 gone by in the third period. As Grizzlies just couldn't quite get that puck out. And the Komets on their 27th shot of the night make it 4-1. Well, Tyson, you're up 4-0. You didn't want that to happen. And a rare time tonight, the Grizzlies just weren't right on a puck, getting it out of their zone. And against Fort Wayne, you need to do that. But good news is you still lead by 3.
Yeah, still lead by 3. You know, it's interesting that first goal you allowed, especially when it's in the third period. You may be up 4-1, but you see the competitive spirit of this team. They wanted a shutout, and they wanted it for Kevin Carr.
Yeah, we heard that door slam over there. Down by you. As puck comes near side. Yeah, so that's frustrating. Daniel Maggio throwing it in, assisted by Dennis Kravchenko and Archer Tyanulin. As after 4 straight by the Grizzlies, the Komets get one back, but now 11 seconds later, Cody Soul and Charlie Graskamp are both going to the penalty boxes. Looks like we're going to play 4-on-4. So Tyson, 4-1's great. You want to manage that. A 2-goal game is totally different. We don't want to see that happen.
Absolutely. Got to keep the momentum going. Hard and smooth. For the Utah Grizzlies, Tim Branham wants to just play a clean, safe game here in this third period. Keep things simple. That's been the message all weekend that he's had. They want to keep things simple, and you also want to play with a lot of effort, play with a lot of tempo, and that's kind of the message here on the bench. It's been that way the whole third period.
Walters, Pellick, Haar, and Watson. Walters, Pellick, Haar, and Cliff Watson playing 4-on-4 here for the third time tonight, because each team negated a power play in the first 2 periods. But yeah, definitely next 3 or 4 minutes big here. You don't want Fort Wayne to get a couple quick goals in 2 minutes, and all of a sudden 4-0 isn't as comfortable as it was, as you look to win for the 6th time in the last 10 games to go unbeaten in 8 of your last 10 overall in regulation. Off the faceoff, Ryan Walters has it. And again, just going back into a simple hockey game here. Puck back out. Komets behind their own goal, looking to push it back the other way, because Tyson, we've seen the Grizzlies come back from some leads that looked pretty comfortable when they were on the road last week against Wichita and Tulsa. And again, Fort Wayne's a team that can get some goals. And again, it's not coming down to Kevin Carr, it's just how well you're going to take care of him in the D zone. Puck far side as Watson gets a piece of it. Good job by Cliff. Pellick hustling back the other way with Walters. Michael chips it to Pellick as he turns and fires it wide. Pellick definitely trying to get that scoring chance there for Ryan Walters, looking for a hat trick. Szydlowski dangles right wing circle in front. That's blocked by Windle, doesn't get through. Misiak blocks it. There's a shot and a save by Kevin Carr as it was fired in by Szydlowski. As Fort Wayne knows they got plenty of time left. And again, Utah racing that 4-1 lead on the road last Sunday in the third period. 10:06 left to go in regulation. 1:07 left to go on these 4-on-4 situations we're in, with Graskamp in the penalty box for the Grizz for slashing and Saul for Fort Wayne for slashing. Draw coming up to the left-hand side of Kevin Carr as Fort Wayne controls it. Shea takes it back down low. Thompson, puck walked along the goal line, comes back out near side. Wendell waving the stick down there as Komets will take it to Fawcett. Dancing, right wing circle, slot, takes it back out to Kulkin. It's blocked in front. Misiak wins the battle and forces the puck free for Leibinger. Good job by Ryan. Good urgency, and the Grizzlies continuing to show us why they're up 4-1. 30 seconds left to go in the 4-on-4. 9:28 left to go here in regulation. Grizzlies up by 3. After having that 4-game unbeaten streak snapped last night, here's a shot. It's blocked by Richard. Ike has it as CJ gets boxed up against the wall. Good job there by Daniel Maggio for the Komets. Is now Ike running in, trying to play a puck, gets to it in the circle. He's got Higbee in front, and CJ just going to send it back down low, and the Grizzlies going to grind. Higbee trying to center it back for CJ as we're back skating 5-on-5. Graskamp and Soul are out of the penalty boxes. Up ahead, they were looking for Soul on a breakaway pass, and Kevin Carr will flip it to the far side. So 4 unanswered by Utah, and then Fort Wayne gets one back here in the third. Haar gets to Pelech. So great to see Garrett Haar back, and maybe a little ahead of schedule. We were thinking Thanksgiving weekend, and then we thought next weekend, and then all of a sudden, Garrett Haar's ready to go, which is good news because Mitch Jones was unable to go tonight for the Grizzlies after leaving last night's game with an injury. Puck comes back down to our right. Here's Ryan Walters pushing it along. Brad Navin, Travis Howe. As the Komets take over, just over 8 minutes left. Want to give a shout out to our good friend Dave Gunderson from Dave and Deb on Z104. He's listening to us tonight in HD on 104.3 FM, HD2. So big shout out to Dave. He says it just sounds crystal clear listening in. Puck comes back down low. Also, Jackie McKay and CJ from Z104 were out here having some fun during our second intermission. They also had a marriage proposal, I think. Here's a shot and they score. It's 4-2. Szydlowski with 7:34 left in regulation. And again, the Grizzlies get boxed up. Can't get a puck out. It is now a 2-goal hockey game. So now you're really getting back into crunch time, Tyson. And in between those goals, I thought you did some pretty good stuff. Then you just got boxed up again, and it's 4-2.
You see a little bit of life on the Fort Wayne bench right here. It's 4-0. It's turned into 4-2. Hey, you know, Fort Wayne's going to be that type of team that's going to be in the playoffs. Same thing with the Grizzlies. And so you're seeing the Grizzlies starting to fight back a little bit here.
All right, thanks, Tyson. 7:34 left to go in the third period. As the Komets get a couple quick goals here, both 5-on-5, scoring on their 27th shot and their 29th. Now a giveaway as it's swatted away by Kevin Carr as Watson and Haar were down there. He's trying to get it back out. Kademi firing it to the net, centering pass out in front, comes back out of the left wing circle, cross ice, broke it up, looking for Kademi as Fort Wayne really starting to buzz along here. Shea throws it out in front as that deflects along, and now Michael Pelech trying to come away with it for the Grizzlies as it rings in off of the side of the net, and Michael Pelech gets it back. He'll find Garrett Haar as he doesn't get it out. Now the Grizzlies come away with it in the slot, and Ryan Walters trying to get a stick on it. So good job by Utah getting through that shift there after that Fort Wayne goal. As the puck comes in deep, and the Komets going to have to go the full 200 feet. 6 minutes, 40 seconds left. Waugh back the other way for the Komets is looking to seal him off with Wendell. Puck comes back down into the corner, and a good job by Leibinger just wanting to get that puck back north-south, and Chris will get it to the neutral zone as Fort Wayne coming in. So again, the Grizzlies battling back from a 3-goal deficit in 2 straight road games. Now the Komets here at the end of a road trip trying to do the same thing as the Grizzlies did it in games 3 and 4 last week, wrapping up their busy road trip. There's a shot coming in. It's loose behind the net. Grizzlies are battling. We're just seeing a side of Fort Wayne that we haven't seen here on this Saturday night. Komets starting to turn it on. Szydlowski, puck broke it up, and Navin will take it and chip it as it comes back down to our left with 5:53 left to go here in the third period. A couple quick goals scored by Fort Wayne as they get 2 goals less than 4 minutes apart. Grizzlies will throw it in. Utah got 2 goals in 3:59 in the first period to make it scoreless to 2-0. Here's Harms trying to go cross ice. It deflects and comes back out. 5.5 left to go here in the third period. Ralph Kademi with Fort Wayne looking to get a change. Will just send it in, but takes a funny bounce off the glass, and the Grizzlies will throw it back out to the Fort Wayne zone. So good test here for the Grizzlies against a really good Fort Wayne team who Utah definitely had their number the first 50 minutes of the contest. As the puck comes deep down, approaching 5 minutes left. Here's Wendell battling for it. Michael Pelech. Mike behind the net, plays it along as he works it to himself. Binkley will throw one in wide as it comes around the wall and back out to the neutral zone. Komets getting it back, and they're playing fast hockey. Tyanulin trying to work in. Grizzlies come flying down to knock away the loose puck, keeping Fort Wayne from getting in onto Kevin Carr as Brad Navin will intercept. Brad looking for the red line. He finds it. He'll chip it in deep. Good job by Brad as Grizzlies understand the situation here. You're up by 2 goals. This forced Fort Wayne to earn everything that they get. And again, just some good patience. 5-on-5, allowing the Komets to make it 4-0 to 4-2. Shot blocked. Good job by Navin. Saar comes away with it and gets a backhanded clear all the way back down to our left-hand side. And icing is going to be the call with 4:10 left to go in regulation. Is Utah holding on to that 4-2 lead. Here's a draw coming up to the right-hand side of Kevin Carr. Grizzlies being outshot 29-20. But again, the goals on special teams and some good puck possession, building that 4-0 lead. Draw to the right-hand side of Kevin Carr as Grizzlies come away with it. Leibinger has it, rolls it back out of the neutral zone. But again, just the simplicity that the Grizzlies are playing with here as they try and weather this Fort Wayne storm in the final 4 minutes. You like what you're seeing from Utah. Shea throws one in. It's tipped wide, and Ryan Olsen trying to get it out. Puck comes to Taylor Richard. Mishak gets it off of the window as Harms tries to catch up to it, and Fort Wayne will get it back. 3 minutes, 39 seconds left to go here in the third period. Grizzlies up by 2. So really doing a good job of keeping it simple, Tyson, and getting redialed.
Absolutely. It's the type of thing where, you know, when you're up 4-0, and you know, you may look at the scoreboard and say things are all right, but you know, you can never look at the scoreboard, whether it's 4-0, 4-2, whatever it may be. You got to continue to go hard.
Yeah, and I don't think they did that. I think just got a little complacent on a couple shifts, and Fort Wayne scored on both of them. Komets still flying around. A pass to the circle is intercepted by Mishak, trying to get it out. It's held in by Leonard, throws it through traffic. It's blocked by Har. Grizzlies done a great job of blocking shots here as Graskamp trying to play it. It comes deep down. Under 3 minutes left to go here in the game. It is 4-2 in favor of the Grizzlies as Graskamp doesn't get it out. Maggio to the net, blocked, loose into the circle. Olsen, a backhander, held in at the line, and now the Komets throw it in. It's blocked by Garrett Har as Charlie Graskamp trying to run it down, but it'll come in onto Garrett Bartus, who's in relief of Hauser. Bartus has only seen 3 shots. Grizzlies 3 shots since making it 4-0. 2:28 left, and we'll keep our eye on when the Komets head coach Gary Graham is going to pull the goalie here, down by 2. But the Grizzlies doing a good job getting Fort Wayne boxed up as Saar knocks it away, forcing Fort Wayne behind their goal. 2:15 left as Bartus is standing by. There he goes, extra attacker for the Komets, intercepted. Ryan Walters has it. Ryan just going to chip it back the other way. Didn't want to ice it, trying for that empty net goal on a tough angle with a couple Fort Wayne skaters in. Centering pass in front, it comes just over the bar. And now the net is off with 1:57 left to go here in regulation. So Tyson, it's turned into a closer game, but I mean, that's hockey. We saw the Grizzlies do it on the road when they were a good team that, you know, just kind of got off to a slow start and still need to seal this deal against the Komets.
That's just the nature of the game, you know, when you're, regardless, 4-0, 2-0, you know, it's the type of thing where when you got 2 playoff teams, Fort Wayne's been a playoff team, it seems like consistently, Grizzlies in the playoffs 10 straight years. That's just the type of thing where, you know, regardless of the scoreboard, you know the other team's going to bring it because they got a winning mentality.
All right, so Fort Wayne's going to call a timeout here. It is going to be a 30-second timeout. And Tyson, just get pucks out quickly. That's the name of the game. I think the Grizzlies realized what happened when they gave up those 2 goals. They just took the foot off the gas for just a minute.
Absolutely. And you start to see the leadership. The leadership of guys like C.J. Ike, Ryan Misiak. Ryan Misiak's really turned into a big-time leader this season for this Grizzlies team. You start to see the leadership pick up to where, all right, when, you know, maybe 4-0 turns it into 4-2, they keep it right there because of the leadership that this team has.
Yeah, so just looking to seal the deal. Tim Branham used his timeout as the Grizzlies went on that 5-on-3 power play situation. I was talking to Tim during the second intermission. He said, well, I don't have my timeout now. We had to score the 5-on-3. I needed to make sure our guys were in a good situation there, knew what we wanted to do, and they did. So good timeout by Tim as Pellick tipped home that Richard blast. So an empty net for Fort Wayne. They've used their timeout. 1:57 left to go here in regulation. Draw coming up to the left-hand side of Kevin Carr, who's 29 for 31. Another solid game for Kevin. Off of the face-off as it comes off the glove of Sol and back down to our left. So good job by Olsen on that face-off, winning it, but Fort Wayne had an extra skater, but the Grizzlies able to get it cleared nevertheless as it whistled by Sol. Maggio, puck comes back down to our right-hand side. Here's Watson trying to get it out. Now Misiak will take it away. Ryan with the empty net gets pulled down, and we'll see here if that's an automatic goal. And no, it's going to be a hook on Fort Wayne. Tyson, if you have an uncontested breakaway on an empty net, it's a goal. But immediately shaking his head was Jonathan Szydlowski. So that's going to alleviate some of the pressure here with Shasma going to the net. But good job by Utah getting that puck away, coming away with it, and Misiak looking to the empty net.
Absolutely, and if nothing else, it brings their goaltender back on the ice. And you were mentioning Szydlowski going to Chili's. His orders here. It's on the bench.
Okay,
and,
good.
So he's going to have his Chili's after the game and won't have to wait.
Yes, he's been very rushed here in this third period to get this one over with. His chicken crispers are here with an extra side of ranch. Hooking on Shaftsma. Draw coming up to the right-hand side of Garrett Bartus as the Grizzlies going on their 5th power play goal of the night. Did you tip him? Did you tip the delivery guy, Tyson? That was your job.
I gave him $2, but
okay,
Szydlowski owes me the other 2.
Okay, go collect it after the game. Grizzlies control the face-off. Tyson's collecting the tip. Do the guy a favor. No, not gonna. Still ticked off about the botched penalties last night when he missed the goalie interference. Binkley comes back the other way. Szydlowski throws it in. His puck comes right out in front. Some of the situations down there on the boards and the glass, we've seen some strange kind of ricochets. A minute left to go here in the third period. Richard to Pelech as the net is empty again. So here's a puck thrown far side. Graskamp was going to the net, but Charlie was offside. I don't know what the rules are in juniors, but you can't score offside. Pelech looking for Graskamp. Walters is out there. 40 seconds left to go. Puck comes back out. Komets racing back in. So 5-on-5 with an empty net. Wah sends it up and out of play. And an offensive zone draw coming up here for the Fort Wayne Komets, who trail 4-2. So the Grizzlies jump up 4-0 after 40. Fort Wayne comes back with a couple goals. 8:49 and 12:26 to make it a 4-2 game. But you got to be pretty happy with this one if you're the Grizz, Tyson.
Absolutely. Good 2 points here tonight. Certainly deserving, especially after what happened last night, to get at least a split.
There's Shea firing one. It deflects. As Szydlowski to the net, it's loose, and Watson's in front. Grizzlies bat it to the far wall. 20 seconds left. Leibinger down low. Comes working along as the Komets unable to hold it in. 10 seconds left. Misiak out there as it's played by Watson. He'll just flip it along with 4 seconds left, and the Grizzlies are going to be unbeaten in 8 of 10 as they throw it to the empty net just wide. And 4-2 your final score here in front of the largest crowd of the season here at Maverick Center on Veterans Day as Utah picks up the victory in front of 7,656. Couple goals for Ryan Walters, Pelech and Richard. Kevin Carr earning the win for the Grizzlies, stopping 29 of 31. Tyson is downstairs. He will have a conversation with Kevin coming up. Adam Turner from the Salt Lake Tribune will be with Ryan Walters when we start our postgame coverage right after this. 4-2 Utah the final. You heard it all right here on Utah's Classic Country, AM 1370. All right, Tyson, I am ready when you are. Kevin. Go ahead.
All right, I'm here with Grizzlies goaltender Kevin Carr. Kevin stopped 29 of 31 shots in this 4-2 win. Kevin, how did it feel to get the 2 points tonight?
It was tough. I mean, they really poured it on in the third period. Hats off to them. They're a really good team, but I think we just stuck to our system and played really well tonight.
Seems like I got a lot of good two-way players, a lot of good defensemen who can produce offensively, a lot of good forwards that can produce defensively. That seemed to show tonight with a good two-way effort.
It's a team effort. It's a full 60 minutes. You know, it's a cliche that everyone talks about, but it's so true. And you know, I don't think we did that last night, and tonight I definitely feel we put together a good, you know, at least, I don't know, 50 minutes, 57 minutes. So.
How about the play of Michael Pellick tonight as well as Ryan Walters? Both those guys were fantastic.
Everyone was fantastic, and those two, you know, really needed to step up because we lost some guys, and they did, and defensemen, you know, really helped me out there tonight as well.
So what do you think kind of is the key here in the next few days as you prepare for Colorado?
Get some rest. First of all, we played a lot of games, but, you know, just get back to practice and get back to work.
All right, thanks for the time, Kevin.
Thank you.
Adrian, back to you.
Leave us in break, Al.
Ryan, thanks so much. You were such an instrumental part of the success of the Grizzlies team 2 years ago. How great does it feel to be back wearing a Utah Grizzlies jersey and playing with this group of guys?
Well, I love Salt Lake City, and the fans tonight were great, so thanks for coming out. You guys fired us up there in the first period.
Awesome. You guys started off the season 0-4. You're now 6-2-2 over your last 10. What's been the key to the success in keeping this streak going?
I think we're just not thinking too much. We're just keeping it simple and cliche about one game at a time. It's early in the year, and we just got to work hard like we have been.
Awesome. What do you guys need to do? You got the defending Kelly Cup champion Colorado Eagles coming in town. What do you need to do to get 2 points against the Eagles?
We're going to have a good week of practice. It's a tough team, and they like to play physical, so we'll just match their intensity and take it to them.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Ryan Walters, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, you can bring us back, Al. Okay, welcome back to the Maverick Center, everybody. Grizzlies get the 4-2 win, 2 goals in the first. Both of those from Ryan coming up, but Kevin Carr in goal gets the victory tonight for the Grizzlies, stopping 29-31 on this evening, and he is downstairs standing by with Tyson Whiting. Hey, Tyson.
All right, I'm here with Grizzlies goaltender Kevin Carr. Kevin stopped 29 of 31 shots in this 4-2 win. Kevin, how did it feel to get the 2 points tonight?
It was tough. I mean, they really poured it on in the third period. Hats off to them. They're a really good team, but you know, I think we just stuck to our system and played really well tonight.
Seems like I got a lot of good two-way players, a lot of good defensemen who can produce offensively, a lot of good forwards that can produce defensively. That seemed to show tonight with a good two-way effort.
It's a team effort. It's a full 60 minutes. You know, it's a cliche that everyone talks about, but it's so true. And you know, I don't think we did that last night, and tonight I definitely feel we put together a good, you know, at least, I don't know, 50 minutes, 57 minutes. So.
How about the play of Michael Pellick tonight as well as Ryan Walters? Both those guys were fantastic.
Everyone was fantastic, and those two, you know, really needed to step up because we lost some guys, and they did, and defensemen, you know, really helped me out there tonight as well.
So what do you think kind of is the key here in the next few days as you prepare for Colorado?
Get some rest. First of all, we played a lot of games, but, you know, just get back to practice and get back to work.
All right, thanks for the time, Kevin.
Thank you.
Adrian, back to you.
Okay, Tyson, thanks a lot. Let's go to Adam Turner, our Grizzlies insider from the Salt Lake Tribune. He's standing by with Ryan Walters.
Ryan, thanks so much. You were such an instrumental part of the success of the Grizzlies team 2 years ago. How great does it feel to be back wearing a Utah Grizzlies jersey and playing with this group of guys?
Well, I love Salt Lake City, and the fans tonight were great, so thanks for coming out. You guys fired us up there in the first period.
Awesome. You guys started off the season 0-4. You're now 6-2-2 over your last 10. What's been the key to the success in keeping this streak going?
I think we're just not thinking too much. We're just keeping it simple and cliche, but one game at a time. It's earlier in the year, and we just got to work hard like we have been.
Awesome. What do you guys need to do? You got the defending Kelly Cup champion Colorado Eagles coming in town. What do you need to do to get 2 points against the Eagles?
We're going to have a good week of practice. It's a tough team, and they like to play physical, so we'll just match their intensity and take it to them.
Okay, Adam, thanks a lot. Adam Turner, our Grizzlies insider from the Salt Lake Tribune. Grizzlies win it 4-2. I'll be back in a few minutes with head coach and general manager of the Grizzlies, Tim Branham. Tyson Whiting, though, will take over our post-game coverage. Coming up next, he'll have all the highlight scores around the ECHL and the NHL, crown our 3 stars. Again, I'll be in the Grizzlies locker room with head coach Tim Branham coming up. So stay tuned. More post-game. Keep it here on Utah's Classic Country, AM 1370. Let's do 3 minutes. I'm just going to cue our highlights. Strick. Szydlowski dangles right wing circle in front. That's Walters looking for a hat trick. Szydlowski circle in front. That's blocked by Wendell. Doesn't get through. Misiak blocks it. There's a shot and a save by Kevin Cars. It was fired in by Szydlowski. I'll let you know we're ready. I just need to send one quick email here.
Just wave on the bench when you're. Yeah. And when you, So this is all right here on the green. All right, I'm ready.
Puck knocked away by Richard, doesn't get out. Colkin sends it in, takes a funny bounce off of the back glass, hits something there. Richard sent to the ice, penalty on Fort Wayne. So we'll go 4-on-4 here as Grizzlies look up ahead. Here comes Ryan Walters again, a breakaway. Ryan works it on Hauser, backhander, he scores! Ryan on a shorty, and the Grizzlies take a 2-0 lead, second goal of the night.
And welcome to the Utah Grizzlies postgame show here on Utah's Classic Country AM 1370. It's Ryan Walters' second goal of the game, made it a 2-0 Grizzlies lead. Grizzlies hold on to win 4-2 over the Fort Wayne Komets. I'm Tyson Wine with a postgame show. Adrian Denny will talk with Tim Branham in just a little bit as the Grizzlies played a pretty good, as Kevin Carr mentioned it, with the 2 goals that Fort Wayne scored in the third period. Can't necessarily call it a 60-minute game, more like a 57-minute game, as Kevin Carr put it. Fort Wayne falls to 5-4-1 on the season. The Grizzlies go to 6-6-2 on the year, but 6-2-2 in the last 10 games. So Grizzlies playing some pretty good hockey as of late, and with the addition of Ryan Walters, he's been phenomenal for this Grizzlies team. He was the #1 star of the night. You think about 2 goals that he scored, and you think about the 7 assists he had in the previous 4 games as a member of the Utah Grizzlies. Had a little bit of a snafu with an AHL club, and if I'm the AHL club, I just give him an AHL contract. I just make him part of my team. I think he's that good of a hockey player. I don't see why a team like Belleville or anybody won't just say, here's an AHL contract, come play for us, and unless that's part of the strange rules that sometimes appear when it comes to ECHL contracts with Europe and the AHL and things of that nature. So nevertheless, good to have Ryan Walters on the Grizzlies side as he picked up 2 goals tonight. Good complete team effort. It felt like, defensemen were playing pretty well. Taylor Richard had a good game. Grizzlies did a good job on the special teams. That was a big key going into this game because Fort Wayne is a pretty good special teams team. 4th in the ECHL in power plays and 5th in the penalty kill. Grizzlies really struggle on the power plays, quite frankly. 26th in the league going into tonight. 7th in the penalty kill. So, Grizzlies special teams kind of won the game as they were 1 of 5 on the power play. That one being on a 5-on-3 situation midway through the second period when it was a 2-0 hockey game. And Fort Wayne 0 for 4 on the power play. So the Grizzlies penalty kill doing a pretty good job. And so even though, with Garrett Hart being inserted into the lineup tonight, making him playing his first game as a member of the Grizzlies this season, he got hurt first practice of the year, Grizzlies defenseman. It was one of those things where he gets back in the lineup and he kind of looked like he was in mid-season form. He looked pretty good on the night. So Grizzlies and the Fort Wayne Komets, 4-2 is the final score. Grizzlies over Fort Wayne. Interesting, though, Grizzlies only took 3 shots in the third period of play, only 20 shots for the night. So it'll be an interesting conversation at Adrian Denny with the head coach Tim Branham. Adrian's standing by in the locker room. He's got the head coach and general manager, Tim Branham. Adrian?